Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. I'm Enosh's grandma, and I say yes, release the Snyder Cut.
Good evening, ladies, and good evening, gents. I'd like to welcome you to this event.
What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Vet, and it is good to have you with me in the lounge today. Welcome. Today is the day. Today was the day. Today we saw it was a glorious day. It almost makes you just want to burst out with hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, yes. Hallelujah. Hey, welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. If this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my good friends, all of you, can get together and talk about the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, toys, the Snyder Cut, all things DC. And so much more. And if those are things, ladies and gentlemen, that you love, that get you excited, that get you to stay up all night and only get an hour of sleep last night because you were streaming until early in the morning, and then you just had to, adult, and then you had to go back to enjoying all things Snyderverse, then you have found the right place and you are definitely welcome here. And so I encourage you to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell. Follow us on social media. All those links are in the description below. And we just love to have you here because we love people and we love nerd culture. All right, guys. Well, hey, today was a big day. Today was a day that will go down in infamy as being just a really cool day. We got a lot of very cool stuff, and we're going to talk about that. Basically, we're going to kind of recap the day, talk about stuff, talk about how the day went, what your thoughts were on the day, and all that good stuff. And so my first guest here is somebody who hasn't been on the stream a lot here in the last little while, because most of the time I'm up till, the wee hours of the morning doing my show. And so she is here now, though. Yes, you love her. I love her. The lovely Tifftastic. What's up, Tifftastic?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're
glad that it's not like the butt crack of dawn, so I can actually be here.
Right? Right? Like you could actually be here. I'm gonna send out a couple of invites to a couple of our friends. I sent out invites to some people and to some special guests, and we'll see how this little time goes here. But
Hey, Jeff Gladfelty just became a member.
Really? Well, hold on a second. It
says new member on here.
Yes, I'm over here doing all this. What's up? Jeff Gladfelty is a member of the channel. What's up, Jeff? Thank you so much, buddy. You are awesome. You're just amazing. So thank you, Jeff. And speaking, Tiffany, of our members, I'll have to add Jeff to the list. Jeff's already on one list. And now I'm going to have to add Jeff to the other list, because we got the Patreon member list here. And look at there, about halfway down there is Jeff Gladfelty. And so Jeff is doubling down, it looks like, because he's joining the members, and you get all kinds of cool stuff when you become a member. You can use all kinds of cool emoticons and have all kinds of fun. And there's special members only videos and all this stuff. But thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. And thank you, of course, to all of our members. You are awesome. And Jeff, your name will go up on this list of our members. And that, you know what that means, Tiff? That means we only need like one more member and we get more emoticons, because the more members we get, the more emoticons we get, and I can upload and have fun with. So if you guys want
members jackets like SNL.
Yes. You get like a 5-timers jacket, like on SNL when you host SNL, like for the 5th time, and you get an extra jacket. So you get the jacket, and you get to go into the other Poindexter Lounge. There's the Poindexter Lounge and
the other lounge.
Yeah. Hey, Nicotina, I sent out links to everybody, dude. You should have had one. In fact, well, maybe not. Hold on a second. I guess I didn't. Did I send a link?
Visible link.
I could have swore I sent the link to all of you guys. I'm sorry. Well, I was wondering where you guys were. There you go.
Maybe that
There
one
is
over
the link.
asleep.
There's the link. The link is there. All right, there you go. I thought I sent the link to them. I was sure I sent the link to I specifically wanted to send the link to them. So I don't know. I think a link monster came in and
Link monster.
the link monster came and took the link away. And everybody's like, oh crap, I didn't see this until now. They're all messaging me. They're like, oh, okay, we got this. So yeah, so I'm gonna welcome to the show. What's up, Nicotina? What's up, Nicotina?
Man, I tell you, we just had an incredible show, man. I was so floored that that all three of them took time out of their day to come talk to us, and it was just incredible. And looks like Nerdy will be here shortly. That's awesome.
It happens. We forget about Nicotina.
Although I got a link from you, but when I clicked on, I thought, if it's the right one, I clicked on it and it led to a black screen, and the stream name was Dawson. I was like, what is this? I was like,
oh, I know what I did wrong. Dawson and I, we were chatting about some stuff earlier today, and so I must have sent you the wrong link. So I was
like, I was waiting there. I was like, why is the screen black?
Oh, you know what that means, though? You know what that means, though? It means
what?
that I sent a bunch of other people the wrong link too.
Probably.
They're all in the Phantom Zone.
They're on the Phantom Zone.
Oh man, here we go. So now I got to send them.
The correct link.
And in the chat,
here's the real link. Sorry.
There you go. In the chat, Steve, I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Today was, we had 3 shows that we had lined up. And once again, it's never about, just our individual shows or, gaining whatever. I mean, honestly, with me, to me at least, it's all about just bringing everyone together and being able to do all that together.
Absolutely.
And that's the funnest part about it.
Absolutely. Well, like I was on the outside, man. I'm like watching you guys, and I'm just like, oh, I wish I was there. Just not even because like it was just you guys, but just like because it's you guys, and like you guys are my friends now,
right?
You guys like so. It's like
that's how I am when I'm at work. And you guys are streaming. I'm like watching you guys. Like I just want to go on there so bad. I'm stuck here at work.
Adulting.
Yeah, I have to be an adult.
Oh, darn it! Speaking of big kids who have to be adults sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. You love him, I love him. You better not make him mad because he's got connections. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tony, aka Ray Liotta. What's up, Ray?
What's up? Hey.
Sorry, I'm on the grainy camera tonight. Sorry about that, guys.
Is the other camera being used or?
No, I was just trying to figure it out, and he got me on way too early. I was just like, I gotta be too.
He's got people filming stuff in the other room.
I know. He's on set.
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. We do weird things in Canada.
Oh my
do weird things in Canada.
Oh my gosh. So I will say this to everybody. It's good. It's
nice
good.
To meet you.
I will say this to everybody. Like I put the link out there. So we may do a little bit of a rotation.
Oh no, TW McKay. I don't know if I can handle you again. Last night you like
it's like Canadians are taking over.
Like I don't want to swear, okay? I don't want to swear on your show. But I mean, last night, McKay, I mean, he completely mind fucked me last night. I had to leave. I was like, I can't. Oh, no, the night before last. I'm sorry. 2 nights ago.
All my days are running together. I've only had an hour of sleep since my stream last night.
So you probably only had an hour of sleep from our stream 2 nights ago when we were up to like 7.
Oh God!
No, man, we're just messing.
I have no idea. I sleep 8 hours a night.
I just remember Enosh's face at one point when he did an impression of Mike Zero, and all of us got quiet. And Enosh was, he was like,
"Your jaws dropped."
Yeah, I was like, "Are you Mike Zero?" No, I'm not.
So the best part of that was like his OJ defense, which was like, guys, no, I'm not Mike Zero. I'm not Mike Zero. I mean, but if I was Mike Zero, this is how I would have done it.
I was like, he's trolling us.
I thought it was Mike Zero actually at one point. I was like,
Classic Mike.
Speaking of which, hey, what's up, TW? What's going on, man?
There he is.
I'm good. How you guys doing?
We're
Hey,
doing good, man. We're doing good. It's been a good day. It's been a good day, man. I tell you what, I been up since the early morn.
Shocker. Shocker.
I never would have thought that.
I tried to go to sleep. I got about an hour of sleep, and then Tiffany nudged me and said, "Hey, your work just texted you and said that they got a staff meeting in a half hour. You got to wake up." And I was like,
I'm working from home, so you got to go downstairs.
It's like, what? So I got to go jump on Zoom, Enosh. And so I was like, oh crap. So I put my hat on and I was like, okay. So I was on Zoom, and that of course is about the time that Zeverfett and Anthony started streaming. And so I was like, oh well, okay, cool. And so I like
meeting guys.
Yeah.
I wish there weren't like 4 guys that I loved all doing streams at once. You're doing your thing. Goldman's doing a Lego holiday special watch party. And
everybody, man. It's I tell you what, today is the day
of sports show and
good day.
Yeah, it is, man.
Yeah,
it's like a day of infinite streams.
I know.
Well, so let's I know Nerdy's gonna be in here in a few minutes. We'll have other people probably join us as we go along, and so we'll just keep adding people till we can't add people anymore, and then maybe kind of rotate people in and out if we have to. Oh, see, here's Tony. Tony's trying to double down.
What?
He's doubling down. What the hell?
Like what?
Can I get out of this one, then?
It's the multiverse.
I'm getting out of this one. Hey, don't. Okay, wait. Here we go. Whammy.
Wait,
Tony.
Better
I
camera.
may be Mike Zero, but at least I'm one person, not 2.
Sorry, guys.
Touche.
Nice. Okay, so let's just kind of talk about just some of the stuff that happened today, guys. I mean, what, somebody's talking in the background there. Okay. First of all, so we got
that might have been my dad walking back and forth.
Oh, okay. So we got
Dad, I'm on TV.
What a stream. Dad's the one who loves the Savage impression.
Nice.
Hey, watch.
I heard him back there. Hey, what's going on, Dad? Oh yeah, I see Dad in the background there walking to and fro. Dad's walking to and fro all the time. You know, dads are all up in your business. They're like the
Slim Jim.
They're like the cream that right top and gets all up in your business and you know what I mean? Yeah.
It would have been scary as if McKay was like, oh, that was my dad walking by. It's right by the dartboard, right here, the dartboard behind me.
Yeah, Dad, can you just leave my helmet on the shelf there? Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, he is. Well, they are the same person. I mean,
us. I will say this, TW. You kind of, I went back and watched it, and you kind of did freak me out for a second when you had a glitch. You had a little glitch there happen, and when it came back on, it looked like you had a green screen.
Oh yeah, no. It's just my camera's broken, so I put some tape over it. So it's just like green painter's tape.
Oh, okay.
It's like froggy tape.
Yes.
So it's not like Mike Zero's green screen in the back there.
Oh God. No.
Okay.
I honestly thought that was an actual studio.
I live in a horrible apartment. This is
I know.
Screen.
That's why mine looks as good. That's why mine looks as good.
I live in a horrible apartment.
I live in downtown Vancouver. It's horrible.
You're a landlord.
Okay, so let's do this. So we're gonna break it down. I want to say hi to some people. Man, you guys are great already in the chat. So what's up, Chubby Teddy Monster Productions? It says, man, it's been an amazing, awesome, radicalized day. Love it. Let's see. Tiftastic's here. What's up, Steve Kassan? What's up, Steve Kassan, brother? It's been a pretty good day.
Up in here.
Yeah, Steve's up in here. I love it when Steve's up in here. McLovin. Phobic.
And Enosh, check your DM as well, because we just got a tweet from a fan who made something based on the show we just had. Because we were making the joke about about all biscuits will be mine.
Yes.
I want that shirt. Well, he made a design based on that with Darkseid. I don't know if you can pull it up or not.
That's fantastic. Yes, I just pulled it up. I'll download that in here in just a second. Here, give me just a minute.
Every time I download it, it downloads it as like a JFIF. And I can't do anything with it.
Yeah, you know what you got to do. I figured it out, man. I figured it out. So this is what you do is when you go to add it. Actually, before you add it, you go to wherever you saved it to. Little production meeting here, live for everyone. Little production meeting. Okay, so that one looks like it's saved just fine. But what you'd normally do is go to wherever you save it. Like I save it to my downloads, and so when I go there, if you just rename it and take off the end and just title it JPEG, it works.
Oh, that's what you have to do. I was like, how the hell did you do this? He told me you gotta save it under all really files. I'm like,
no. And see, look, there it is.
There it is.
All your biscuits will be mine. All your biscuits, all the Kryptonian biscuits will be mine.
What is this?
What's that?
I like it, but I just don't know what it is.
What's up, Jeff Glafelty, our newest member? Thank you so much again, buddy. Tony's in here. Andy R's in here. What's going on? Superior's in here. Jason Granger's in here. Wrath 7 is in here. What's going on? Wrath, that's a daily thing that every once in a while I get pulled into. It's same old. Let's see. Johnny Pop's in here. Look at Johnny Pop. Johnny Pop is in here.
That trailer though, that was intense.
It was, man.
There's a black and white and a color version out there, which is awesome.
Yes. Alan J is in here. Who else is in here? Coming up. Nerdy's in here. My friend John Gamble is in here. Johnny Gamble, what's up? What's up, players? He says,
Johnny Gamble.
Yeah, what's up?
He's a great guy.
Oh, he's an awesome guy. Right now, he's holding these lightsabers that I just bought. He lives on the other side of the state from me, and so I got to hook up with him once our state opens up again.
I'd like to apologize for the very poor pun I put in there.
No, I didn't see it yet.
Gamble bet.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know who this is, but what's up, Sunil?
Don't worry about it.
I think that's one of those like spammer things.
Yeah, it looks like it.
The moment has passed.
Yeah, what's up, Barcelona B? Good to see you, Barcelona. Yep. Let's see. Double MJ's in here. Good to see you. Yeah. Let's see. And I think what's Noel Martin's in here? Stephen Topper's in here. Love that guy. Ray's in here. Dr. Fate's in here. We're all up in here.
Everybody's here.
Yes.
Everybody.
I like
we are Venom is up in here.
Blaze.
Simon Blaze is up in here. It's time to party. It's the after party here at the Poindexter Lounge, because that's where you go.
We need to get Chubby Teddy in the actual stream, man. I haven't talked to that guy in so long. He's cool, man. That guy's cool.
Well, this guy has been waiting back in the back, and he, I know he's there, and he keeps like, he's like, hey guys, I'm here. I'm here, guys. I'm here, guys. I'm here.
Oh no!
I'm in the back, guys.
You know what? This guy's full of it, man. He just told me he had to go because he had to go spend time with his family, and now he's right back.
But you know what? But the Poindexter Lounge opened up, and everybody knows that once you get a little taste of the Poindexter Lounge, you got to keep coming back for more. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Zever Fett. What's up, Mr. Zever Fett?
I need more cowbell.
More cowbell? Well, now...
Whoa! I think we got a show. Oh, yeah, we got a show. We definitely got a show. Oh, yeah, there's a show.
That's the closest I got.
I'll take it.
Sounds like my show.
Way better than Nicotina's show. You're right.
Way better.
Nice. So I will pull this up. So, ladies and gentlemen, Zever Fett, why don't you tell us a little bit about your shirts, and I'm going to put the link to those shirts in.
Yes. So today, just on the last stream, sold 13 of these bad boys right here. The Ray Fisher shirt. It's the kind of a replica of the.
Guess what? Guess what?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, there's my
there
model.
it is.
There's my model.
Oh,
There it
yeah.
is.
You too
Down.
can look like Poindexter Lounge.
No
and
monetization
sporting-
anymore.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody with the oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, all the members say oh yeah.
So awesome. Yeah, I sold 13 of these, and all of the proceeds go to AFSP. So
Oh, that's great.
and it's just so awesome. We how much money did we get? Like 200 in donations, and then 13 of these shirts.
Wow.
So it was really awesome. So
Here, I'll give you all a better. I'll give you all a better sneak peek here, because I do.
Bengals colors, by the way, Zebrafet.
what's that?
Can you make one in Bengals colors? That's way too
Bengals?
close to Pittsburgh.
like the singing group.
No.
What?
I can't wear Steelers colors. That's all. It's just it's a thing.
Those are Gotham colors, man. I didn't make that choice. That was Zack Snyder. Actually, I think that predates Zack Snyder because I think Gotham in general, just because of the yellow bat symbol and black and all that. I think that because the same thing with Christopher Nolan, his Gotham Knights, they were yellow. They were
robes,
the same color. Robes, right? Robes.
Yeah, and they were a bunch of the guys on the sidelines were actual Pittsburgh Steelers in the roster at the time.
Yeah. I remember that.
So I gotta ask you all. Who wore it better? This guy?
Oh,
He looks a little chiseled.
Or this guy?
no
That
contest.
guy right there. That guy. That
No contest.
Which one? The one on the right or the left?
guy.
Whichever one gives me the win.
So why were you standing next to Anthony?
And he's taller.
I know, taller than Anthony? I don't think so. We've seen the photos.
So yeah, go if you haven't gotten the shirt yet, go get the shirt. Go support this with all the money going to charity, and that's an important thing, guys. That's an important thing. So for sure.
I got money. I'll give you some money, bud. Don't you worry.
I also take
It's not work shit.
Patreon.
Hey, it's money nonetheless. You can put it in the washing machine. It's not really paper, so it's good. It's plastic and stuff, so it's just don't put it in the dryer. It shrinky dinks. That's all I gotta say. $20 bill goes back to this. Still looks like a $20 bill, but it's a shrinky dink.
It's tighter. It shows off the muscle.
Absolutely. Something like that. Yeah, something like that. So okay. So today we started off the day. We got the trailer right away. We got the black and white trailer right away.
Yeah, black and white trailer.
I pulled up some stills from the color trailer just so that we could see some of the magnificent images, you know. But I mean, right there, guys. Oh my gosh. Look, I mean, I know we've seen this before, but I never get tired of looking at this.
That's beautiful.
I never thought I'd see it in live action, at least not in my lifetime. It seemed so far away, and then everything that happened with Justice League, I was not certain I'd ever get the chance to see Darkseid.
Yeah.
And then I mean, oh my gosh, he's going into action there, and it's just such a thing of beauty. Looks so great, and then this picture,
Yes.
with all the priests and everything in the background. Oh my gosh, it's just fantastic. It's fantastic, and now finally putting to rest once and for all what this scene was. There it is. Superman himself.
Yeah.
As a hologram.
Yep, as a hologram.
And not only that, but a hologram made by Cyborg. And for some reason, none of us really didn't dawn on anyone that that's what we were looking at.
Until you mentioned it, I had no idea that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Ryan guessed that a few years ago, but still, that doesn't count.
No.
Oh, that's cool.
It doesn't count.
Still cool regardless.
It's amazing.
So those are just some of the stills from the trailer today. You guys' opinions, your guys' thoughts, on the trailer.
The scene that always gets me, I mean, like I almost get choked up when I see it, is the scene of Clark walking out of the cornfield back to the farm.
Clark!
To see Lois and Martha. I was like, I'm like, I'm not gonna cry at the mall. I'm not gonna cry at the mall, I swear.
I should probably watch it, eh?
That would be useful.
Okay, we'll see you later. We'll see you later. We'll see him later.
Considering the esteemed gentleman above me did air a watch party for the trailer in your time zone today, Tony.
Yeah, I was doing stuff today. You know,
I would have been on, but I had work, so I'm glad that you guys got to have a watch party for that.
I couldn't lie until it worked. I was grocery shopping.
I was working on my 12 videos I had to put out today. I mean,
see, Nicotina didn't even look. Nicotina wasn't paying attention. What? You didn't hear what he said. He's like, I was so busy. I was working on my 12 videos that I had to put out today.
Yeah, right.
So
I was looking at the Twitter. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all right. So Nicotina, what were your thoughts on the trailer this morning?
I thought it was great. I liked seeing it in black and white. I think it gives it a whole new appreciation for the trailer. But then seeing it in color as well was awesome, because then we got to see the Superman hologram in red. You get to see all of that. So it was really cool. I mean, everything so far that we've gotten is amazing. As far as I know, I think there's still something else coming, but I don't know to be sure. But
one of my favorite shots. I'm not sure if it was in the original, like the trailer that HBO Max took down before they put this one up, but seeing Superman in with all the other members of the League when the ship comes in, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to let everybody know that just like the other streams that maybe some of you have been on today, all super chats that come in today will be going directly to AFSP to help prevent suicide.
Come on, Nicotina, you got to do that.
We got to get the monkey.
Oh
no, super chat.
Bro. So anything that's raised, you guys, I know you guys raised quite a bit there in your stream. Guys.
Oh man, look at that on the Cash App. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna tell my wife.
Not that one. No, I mean this Cash App. This Cash App. The Cash App. Boom,
right up in your face. Leave that S mark on your forehead.
Exactly.
You gotta do like a new version of that in the black and silver shirt now.
Oh yeah.
If you go back to that picture, see, I always thought Enosh's hands look big, but from what I understand, Enosh has like gigantic hands.
Yes,
that's what everyone says about you.
Yes,
they're like sausage links.
Yes, I have, dude. They're huge.
They're very skillful on the guitar.
Really?
Yes. I have skillful hands.
So you a hand model now?
This is the stream, folks. Right here.
Big and tall.
CBS.
This is the stream.
George Costanza is crying in pain somewhere.
But how much did you guys end up raising over there?
Oh, it was over $200 that we raised through super chats, and since the stream had started, I know that it increased by $1,000.
Wow.
The overall fund. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we had about 90 something people watching at one. No, I think we got over 100 at one point. I don't remember.
Nice.
Ryan, what was it? The viewer count?
1 million.
Yeah, we had 1 million viewers.
Now watch it. We're gonna hold you to that.
All right, so it was 10.
Recount.
10 people. That's it.
10.
Yeah, I'll just kept on donating money.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Nerdy in many ways, Dawson.
Hello.
Now Dawson has the accurate.
Hello.
Yeah, so at most we had about 122 people in the chat, which is awesome. And
yeah, Rasha 102. Come on.
And we raised about
at
200.
Rasha is the voice of reason.
And we raised
What
about
you want to be.
$220 through super chats for AFSP. What's up, Tony?
Hi.
That's great.
Sorry, I had to watch the trailer because I didn't know what the I had the night off. I was like, so I had to go away, watch the trailer, come back.
Gotcha. And by the way, Rasha, if you would like to join us, feel free. The link is there, and we'd love to have you, Rasha. You're always welcome here in the Poindexter Lounge. In fact, I don't think that Rasha has been.
No,
Rasha has not been to the lounge. But hey, another person who it's her first time to the lounge. So we got to all get ready. I love the fact that we're getting the ratio better here with male to female, you know, because I mean, like I love you guys, but man, come on.
Speaking of sausage links,
holy cow, jeez. Lady Geneva, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up? We're gonna put the ladies up here at top.
Yeah.
Oh, love that.
Put me at the bottom. It's fine. Put me at the bottom.
Absolutely.
Back of the room.
There we go. We'll just do.
No whammy.
I want to be
Oh, somebody's got to go. Oh, whammy.
Whammy.
No whammies. No whammies.
So I'm the winner.
We'll go with that.
So welcome. Is it Geneva?
Yes.
Genevieve.
What? Genevieve? Genevieve. I am so sorry. I apologize. With my name being Enosh, it's hard for me. I totally understand having a different kind of name, so I always try to get stuff right, but I don't get it right the first time. So Genevieve,
totally
it is great to have you here. It is great to have you here. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Genevieve, for our listeners and the people who come to see everybody on everybody's stream here.
Ooh, okay. Well, presuming that people want to know stuff to do with Zack and me.
Yeah. We just want to know just a little something about like what you do, like, you know.
She's like, you can find me on social media at
plugging. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a YouTube channel.
Awesome.
She does.
I have a mix of content. Over the years, it's sort of evolved. Right now, I mostly focus on doing reviews and video essays, things like that. Occasionally, I've had interviews over the years, especially when there were more events going on, like Comic Cons and things like that. But those have not been happening this year. So more of a by myself in my room type of creating content, you know, just sit down and like write a video essay or something like that. But if you've ever been looking for stuff to do with Zack's charity event that he did last year, like all 3 panels that are uploaded in full and not from the like not super great quality from the Vero stream, you want like the front row video, those are all on my channel. So I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people in the fandom have seen my channel at one point or another. They just don't realize that it's me. But so I've met Zack before. I guess that's a flex.
Ooh,
yeah,
flex.
But yeah, I don't make as many like a lot of you guys that are streamers. You know, you're going on either every day or every week and you're talking about more news stuff, but I don't make as much content just because I respect Zack's content so much that I tend to get in my own way where I'm going, oh no, but he's so smart and he's so elaborate with his artistry that if I'm gonna write about that, I have to do it justice, and then I like don't make enough videos about him as a result because I'm like, no, I have to like write this really in-depth 20-page video essay if I'm gonna talk about, and then I never. But I'm gonna force myself. You know, it's almost the end of the year. Like, let's.
Meanwhile, Zack Snyder turns 93. And,
I did cry, so it's fine. It's all good.
I mean, I recently made a video about you know how the people like the antis, you know, the DCEU antis who
hold on. I was not aware. You're gonna literally stand there and look me in the eye and tell me that there are people who do not appreciate the DCEU?
Way to go, Poindexter. Check out this clip. Thank you, Poindexter Lounge.
Well,
Yeah.
I had no idea. No idea.
Well,
by the way, Nicotina, if you got a scoot, I'd like to give you a proper goodbye. I'd like to say it's always good to have you here, Nicotina. You know,
no. My internet's kind of screwy right now, but
his wife keeps unplugging it.
I know she keeps unplugging it. But I'll be back a little bit later if you guys are still on. I just gotta go take care of some stuff inside. She realized the show was over and she goes, "What's going on?"
I'm at the lounge, baby. I'm at the lounge.
I'm at the lounge, man.
She's like, "Yeah, that's where you're sleeping tonight, at the lounge."
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
All you guys.
Either way, man.
You have a good night, buddy. All right.
See you, Nick.
So Genevieve, or Genevieve, I'm looking at your name and like I swear it's gonna like throw me off. Okay, Genevieve. So you do some stuff with the people who are anti-DCEU, huh?
Well, no. Basically, what happened was, so it had been a while. I think one of the most recent DCEU videos that I had made was just like addressing the Ray Fisher situation. I think that was the last video that I had done, like when he first kickstarted all of that. But then it had been a while, and what happened was I was watching YouTube videos, and I don't remember what the topic was, but it was not the DCEU. And out of nowhere, the person that was talking in the video made a snide comment about like, oh yeah, Henry Cavill's Superman doesn't smile. And I didn't realize that was still a thing people were saying in 2020, like unironically. And something in me just sort of snapped. And then I made a video kind of very snarkily retaliating against that very easily disproven statement of Henry Cavill's Superman doesn't smile. You can literally pull up the screenshots. That's what I don't understand. It's not even like an opinion issue. It's factually incorrect. So that's my most recent DCEU video. I posted it.
Genevieve, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching to the choir, because that's what got me involved in that whole thing, was just literally watching somebody else, like just seeing people's videos, just thinking, hey, this is great, man. We're getting the Snyder cut, you know, because like I was always low key, you know, when it came to Snyder cut, like I wanted it, I believed it was there, but I was just like, hey, you know, I'm gonna hope that it comes out. And then it was like when the movement really kicked in, I was like, this is awesome, you know, I'm gonna support in any way I can. But then, you know, when I found out we were getting it, man, we were all watching that day. We were all super excited for it. And then when it came out that it was coming out, like I'm going to go watch some videos of people excited that the fact that it's coming out, just like me, because I did my reaction video where I was losing my freaking mind. So everybody else must be absolutely ecstatic about this. And what I ran into was a bunch of people who were, you know, calling us the Snyder cult and you know, and all these different things and all these derogatory names and stuff. And I was just like, you know what? I was like, yeah, it's like, yes, well, thank you.
You can't see without these.
Well, and so I ended up getting myself in trouble. Because I made a couple commentary videos, and then people got mad about my commentary videos, and then our wonderful cyborg himself, Ray Fisher, heck yeah. He tweeted out one of the videos, man, and
I remember that clip because that was all over DC Twitter, so it ended up on my feed. And the thing is,
and then I became, according to them, I don't know how I got this title. I have no idea still, and I don't even know. But apparently, I am the leader of the Snyder cult. I wasn't even there from the beginning, but I'm a leader now of the Snyder cult, according to them. So there we go.
Yeah, it's very strange, because there are plenty of things content-wise that I don't really like, but I generally don't make videos about them. I know it's so strange, like deciding that my mental health is more important than constantly bombarding myself with content that I don't like. What a shocking, groundbreaking, revolutionary concept. Yeah, so I mean, I would prefer. I like just to hop around and just talk about whatever I feel like talking about. But I feel like I should do more DCEU videos though, because there's like I have some opinions. Like, okay, can we just talk about like briefly? We don't have to get into all of the drama, I promise.
Yeah. Okay.
But when people think that Ray is lying because he's not giving more
Oh, good
specific
Lord.
information. And
Oh,
my
good
thing
Lord.
with that is, I've always gone back and forth since he made this point about whether or not I should do a video about it. He said the thing with his barber. And that's a very clear thing to do with the socio-political conflicts that happen to Black people to do with their hair specifically. Like, there's so many news stories. It takes you 2 seconds to Google it, whether it's in the US or in the UK, where Black students are getting ostracized by administrators because of their hair. There's people that are either not getting hired or not getting interviewed, or they're getting fired because of stuff to do with their hair. Black people. So for him to point out that he, as the only member of the main league who is Black, had an incident, you know, of having his barber that is there to do his hair specifically, not getting credit for his work, like, that's, why do you need more? That's, I mean, obviously there are more examples than that are like probably more severe, but that's a very clear thing to do with racism. Like, and not just racism in a general sense, but racism against Black people. Like, why are people still questioning? Like, that's such a clear example. Why do we need more? And it's also not your place. It's not your business. But anyway.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. The whole man, the whole thing in general is just a ridiculous, just excuse after excuse after excuse. People not understanding why Ray has gone about doing things the way that he's done them, and, you know, thinking that we are entitled somehow to all this information up front, not even taking into consideration the fact that, you know, if you have investigations going on and you have possible, you know, legal ramifications going on, there are some things that you can share and there's some things that you can't share, and there's some things that you don't want to reveal. I've always shared, Genevieve here on the channel, my grandma raised me. And my grandma used to always, my grandma's a pretty smart lady. I love her a lot. And I actually, we started the video off today with this.
Welcome to the Poindexter Lounge. I'm Enosh's grandma, and I say yes, release the Snyder cut.
She's awesome. And so I say that because my grandma told me years ago when I was a kid, she said, look, always tell the truth, but you don't have to tell people everything you know. That's not smart. You don't reveal everything that you know necessarily just because you know something. And the entire time that this has gone on, I've seen that from Ray, that Ray is sharing what he needs to share for the time that it needs to be shared. And all these other people who want to gripe and complain about it and say, oh, I'm not getting the information that I need. He's got to be a liar because I don't know everything right now.
Right.
Well, too bad. Like, you can make yourself look like an idiot. You can literally make yourself look like an idiot and call him a liar and say all those things, or you can wait just like the rest of us and see what happens. You know, and that's all any of us can do, because we're not there, you know. So I just think, I mean,
agreements too that we don't know about. Maybe there's things he can't talk about legally yet.
And there's,
you know,
he can, is that like
it,
this is like
but
a
maybe
legal case. Yeah, people forget that this is a legal case, and the fact, and oftentimes in legal cases, you can't talk about anything outside of, you know, the people who are handling the specific case. So why is it the people? Yeah, why is the people outside of it think that they're owed or due any type of evidence? Like at all, like Kavari here, Kavari here wants all this attention, wants all this evidence, and it's just like, you're not getting it because you're not a part of the people who need to have the evidence in order for the case to continue.
Yep, it's not for you. It's not for you. You know, but it's an entitlement. It's an entitlement issue. People just feel entitled that because they want it, they're going to get it.
But that's why his comments are cryptic, right? That's why we think of them as cryptic, because you can only say a certain number of things when you're in a court case. You know, that's it. I can tell you a certain amount of stuff, but I can't tell you the rest. So we look at it as he's being super cryptic about it. It's like, no, he's not. He just he can't
Not
talk
liberty
about
to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Till the case is done, you can't say it.
Yeah.
We all can infer it. It's fine. That's
Yeah.
why he gives us that, to infer what you think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great points. And yeah, I mean, and here around here, we call it the way it is. We say it the way it is. And like I've said many times, and those of you guys who are members, you guys got the emoticon, so I invite you to share it and share it proudly. We stand with Ray Fisher. He's the man. I love the fact Dawson and Ryan on your stream just a little while ago with Ray Porter. I loved the fact that Ray Porter, what was it he said about there are very few people that
he said I would walk through fire for Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
I was watching, by the way, I was driving, so I couldn't type in the chat just to people who were hosting that.
Yeah, but he said something though specific about Ray Fisher though, because he said there are very few people that are like perfectly upright that I trust with everything.
And Ray Fisher is the one exception.
Yep, Ray Fisher is the one exception that he completely trusts. And you know, when I hear stuff like that,
that's come from Dark Side. This is awesome.
Dark Side sees him as pure. So
yes, Dark Side sees him as pure. So he's got my vote. So I just I don't know, but it just I'm definitely of the mind that we let this thing play out, and you know. That's all any of us can do because we weren't there. You know, we weren't there. And the way I look at it is the guy is fighting for other people. He said from the very beginning, all the people who come out and go, it didn't even happen to him. Did you listen to any of his videos? Have you seen any of his posts? Literally, I swear to God, he said from the very beginning, there are things that happen to him, and then there are things that happen to other people. That's why he's trying to assemble them to give them a voice, because they don't necessarily have the presence that he has online or social media or whatever, that somebody in a position who's actually in the film or whatever can maybe speak up and say something. But look, the person, you know, setting something up or whatever, who's being treated in a certain way is not going to be able to do that. They're just going to be let go, and it's not going to matter to the higher ups. You know, but it's going to matter to those people. And Ray, he has seen some stuff go down, and he feels strongly about it. And I respect that. He's standing up for the little guy. And look, in the end, it's going to come out. You know, there's no point in bashing Ray Fisher, because the point is in the end, it's all going to come out. Mm-hmm. And you know,
I mean, you've already seen
we're not a society that likes
regime
to
change and you know, people getting taken off of projects and people not being employed by that company anymore. And I mean, you know, the writing's on the wall, right? I mean, it's like, what? You know, I mean, we're just getting things, you know, like you said, we're not owed any of this information. I mean, we're going to process it as it comes, and we'll, you know, sort of decipher, you know, for ourselves. But I mean, again, we're just kind of watching this, you know, from the sidelines. So,
right.
Well, I mean, it's preaching to the choir for me to have brought up that issue, and like, I don't expect that anybody on this panel or anybody tuning in doesn't believe Ray. That wasn't why I brought it up, but it was just specifically, you know, to do with the issue of black hair and the societal stigmatization against black hair. That you know, I think the timing just sort of lined up in a way where I had made a video essay about the craft, and I was being very academic about it. And because of material that was in it, and I wanted resources to support the points that I was making, so I was reading a lot of information to do with like the history and ongoing societal issues to do with black hair. And it like immediately one of the first things I thought of was the fact that Ray, and this ongoing thing that he's doing and sharing, you know, some of the information, the fact that he had specifically mentioned my barber on Justice League, you know, here's his name, here's where he works. So presumably to give that guy a shout out to help his business, of course. That was like the first thing that I thought of. I was like, oh yeah, and there's all these people that are saying, oh no, I don't know if he hasn't shared anything specific. And I say he brought up the discrimination against black hair. What do you mean? Like, he perfectly gave you a very clear example. There's no need to doubt anything he says. I mean, whatever, if you want to be skeptical, but yeah, that's why I like wanted to bring it up. And because that's the thing is, I really like how Zack, I mean, Zack is a very privileged person. He's rich, he's white, he's a man, he's successful, he's got a big name, but he's very inclusive with his, with his art. Like, you see a very diverse cast in the different projects that he puts together. And me, as like I get very flabbergasted when I hear people say online, oh, Zack Snyder fans are only white men. I'm like, hi, not a man, not white. Nice to meet you. Don't ever talk to me. Because I don't have time. So
don't talk to me. I love that.
Yeah. So and like I appreciate that about him, because like I said that to Zack at his charity event last year. I was just gushing about how he had Tao Okamoto, because I'm Japanese, she's Japanese, that he cast her to play Mercy Graves, and that's not a character that's Japanese in the comics. And he was just like, no, she's awesome. I want to hire her to be in my really awesome superhero film. It's a small part, but it's still, I mean, I said that to him. I was like, other people would not have even let her audition. Like, I know Hollywood is like that. So, I take it very seriously, the denial of racism, when it's like, don't tell me that racism is not an issue, because it's not. That's just not true. Of course it's an issue. It still is. And we saw that. Like, how many non-white characters got erased or downgraded?
I was amazed. I was really amazed, because I hadn't even really, to be honest with you, I hadn't really even thought about it until it was a couple of weeks ago when that list came out and Ray started talking about, all the people of color and the diverse cast that had been let go. And sure, there were some white people on there as well, but it was overwhelming. The amount of people who were let go were either people of color or diverse races and things like that. And it was just like, you can't look at that and just go, okay, that's okay. Look, there's always going to be somebody who ends up on the cutting room floor. There's always going to be a part or a role. You can't literally try to fit everything in and cram everything in. And we get that. I mean, that's why he's got 2 hours of extra footage, right? He's got 2 hours of extra footage. Yeah, 2.5 hours of extra footage, whatever that was there. I love that he keeps reiterating. Like today, he said, "Look, the film is locked. We're doing the special effects. We're doing the all that stuff, but the film is locked." So that's fine. And he's talked about that on Grace Randolph, that's how he shoots films. He shoots everything that he thinks. So look, somebody's always going to end up on the cutting room floor at some point when you have to go do that. But when you look at it and you go, how is it that everyone just about of any other color but white, except for maybe a couple of people, ended up on the cutting room floor? That doesn't make sense. And especially when you're talking about the characters that ended up on the cutting room floor.
Yes.
The specific characters and the storylines that we know and everything, that's what really gets me going too. So
yeah, I mean, Ray's entire story, but not just Ray, his parents, because for those who don't know me, I'm one of the co-hosts or guest hosts, whatever you want to call it, on Lightcast. And since Matt has already said that we can say the name, so I can say the name. One of the people that we're interviewing next, and me specifically, I'm doing the interview later this week, is Karen Bryson, who plays, the mother of Cyborg. And she was not in the film that came out in 2017. She was completely removed. So, we haven't seen her do anything except for, the little sneak shots in the trailer. But as far as her as a character and what she means to Cyborg, to Victor Stone as a character, and his journey and his emotional arc and his trauma that he's going to go through physically, psychologically, the loss of his mother, which is a recurring thing. We see the importance of mothers in Zack Snyder's DCEU time and time again from the very beginning. That's an issue, and I'm glad that we're getting it back on track now, and I'm excited to talk to her because she also, because I was researching her, and her vibe is awesome. So I know she's got a great energy. But yeah, like I want to see that whole story.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to play devil's advocate here, and
I'm glad we're getting.
Good. Why didn't we just see a standalone Cyborg movie then?
Well, that was on the list. Remember?
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be
original.
Trying to jam it into a Justice League movie, what we want to see, but I want to see a standalone movie as well. But I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here and say I can't go with 2 more hours of extra Ray Fisher stuff, Cyborg stuff, even though I want to see that origin story in that movie. I just don't want to see it in my Justice League movie, right?
No, it's in there though. Zack already said. He said Ray Fisher, or that character, is the heart of the movie. Justice League.
Is the heart of the Justice League movie.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna see it.
Yeah. I'm just glad we're getting more Joe Morton, because Joe Morton's one of my favorite actors.
Oh yes! Oh my God, the range on that man! Because like the first thing I ever saw him in, I think, was Eureka, and he was really sweet and likable. And then he was on Scandal, and he was super scary. I was like, wow, the range of an actor. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as Steve here says, racism is a huge issue, and also the use of people of color actors and characters. I still get went in another direction emails for casting. Most people of color actors know what this usually means. And then Mindful says the contrast between the Snyder cut and the theatrical cut will reveal a lot of biases, and I definitely believe that.
And to Steve, I didn't realize that was kind of sort of quote unquote coded language of any capacity. I didn't realize that until just talking to you guys now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, like most people have kind of learned that there's certain things you just don't say, because they learn that quote unquote racism is bad. So they'll get really offended if you say like you're being racist right now, like that thing you said is racist, but they don't actually learn what racism is and like the many ways that it can manifest. So they don't understand. It's like these little comments, these little digs, these little things. Like we, people of color, we hear that and it's like, no, I know what you mean. You might not even realize what you just said, but we know what that means. So
it's different for TW and I, though. TW and I are Canadian. So honestly, it's really weird for us sometimes when it comes to the racism thing, because we didn't grow up that way, right? Yeah. We didn't have slavery in our country. Ever. This is where they tried to escape to, right? So, and you know what? There's more racism to the Asian people. No offense or anything, just because it came later, and that how racism propagated in Canada. But when it comes to the black people and the brown people, we don't see it as much because we were.
You don't think Indigenous people in Canada are struggling? We don't need to turn that into.
Like I said, no, 100%.
I've often said that pretty much in the way that you can look at a lot of what happens to particularly Black Americans is very much you can draw as a comparison to Indigenous people in Canada. It's they're separate issues, but I mean the prevalence in society, I think, is something that was always kind of cognizant to me.
I'm not saying that we were good people because we were.
Oh no, I'm not saying we were either.
It's horrible.
Well, I will just say this because we got a big panel and it's hard to always communicate exactly what we're trying to say, and I think we're all doing a good job. Let's just palate cleanse and remember why we're here today with a little song from our good friend next to me right now.
E.T. never got a second movie, but Spielberg let this guy write a book as a sequel where we...
All right.
Very talented. He's very talented.
I regret Lunch Trench.
I love that so much.
You like the lunch trench, right?
I saw all over town, people are talking about the lunch trench. It's the ditch where you can eat your food.
There you go. We're actually going to have him. We're actually going to have him on the channel. So there you go.
Yes,
we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And Dawson, you'll be right there. Hopefully, when we do, it'll be fun.
I love the lunch trench.
All right. So let's remember today has been a really great day. I mean, we got the trailer. We got Zach's breakdown of the trailer. I mean, just piece by piece, which was absolutely fabulous. Just hearing, I love listening to Zack talk about his work. You know, I mean, whether it be listening to his movie breakdowns, you know, where we watch, you know, Man of Steel, BVS. Every time the man starts talking about his stuff, you learn new stuff about those things that you never knew. You could think, I've watched this movie forever, over and over and over and over and over again, and then you get that moment, like I said earlier today, somewhere, that it's like you get that moment then, like from BVS. Or not BVS, I'm sorry, Man of Steel, where it's like, I've watched Man of Steel so many times, and it's like, oh yeah, that broken moon back there, that's original Doomsday. There you go. All right. Awesome. Like blows your mind kind of stuff. And so today, what did you guys think of just like the stuff that he had to say about the film, the way that he kind of revealed a few things, like the even the Supergirl stuff? Right, like he totally teased us with that.
I'd love to tell you, but I do have to leave.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry.
Sorry, man. But yeah, no, we'll definitely talk later about it. But yeah, it was really cool, really exciting. I loved every minute of what he had to say, his commentary on this trailer. It was so awesome. It was kind of like the BVS and Man of Steel commentary he did. I was like, wow, there's so many nuggets in there that was like I didn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I just finding out.
Oh, go ahead, TW.
No, I was just saying, like, just finding out from the chat, because I missed a lot of that breakdown. I didn't even know that Harry Lennox, who played Swanwick and Man of Steel, I didn't know he was going to be John Jones. I am so excited for that.
That's such an old announcement, though. that information has been out for like how many months now?
I feel bad.
Well, you know, in all fairness, all right, man, we'll see it. In all fairness, all right, man, we'll see it. In all fairness, I will say, you know, that floated out there though for a long time as a rumor before it was actually kind of confirmed, before people really started taking it seriously. Because to be honest with you, I even look back at Man of Steel now, and I look at it a little differently, thinking that he is Martian Manhunter.
Oh yeah.
Because there's some things that you go, yeah, I could see that. And there's other things that you go, okay, I want to see how that works.
I mean, an alien holding another alien captive on behalf of the militant U.S. government.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have some thoughts and I have some feelings about that.
That's
like,
very interesting thought.
Yeah, and you know, and the whole to talk about Man of Steel, I mean, the whole conversation that they have at the end of the movie, where Clark is like, "You want to know where I hang my cape, but you're not going to find me. I grew up in Kansas."
That bothered me too. I was like, listen, Kansas, I don't know the exact population off the top of my head, but it's not California, mate. Like, it's not Alaska.
No, but Kansas City, I mean, I was just in Kansas City a couple years ago, and Kansas City is a big city, man. Kansas City is a major metropolitan area. It's a very large city. So I mean, obviously the state, there's a lot of rural area. There's a lot of rural area in there, but Kansas City is pretty big. And actually, when I was there, I started thinking about like the show Smallville, because that's kind of what they based their metropolis on, as being like Kansas City for Kansas, because you know Metropolis is in Kansas. And so I was surprised actually how big that was. But yeah, it's just but to say like I was from Kansas. Right? I mean, like, that's you're kind of revealing what you didn't want to reveal. I kind of feel
but he doesn't live there anymore. But his mom's still there, so I mean, I don't know how to feel about that.
Well, and kind of everybody in Smallville knows who he is. You know, like so.
It's that thing of like the Hannah Montana film where she like takes her wig off in front of people, and then she's like, "Okay, but just kidding. Like, I don't actually want you to like tell people that it's me." And it's like, people
just defeating the purpose.
Gossip. People talk.
Yes. Well, it was like half the town looked like they were talking about him. You know, like when he saved the bus full of kids. You know, and they were all like, they saw him.
That's how Lois found him. Well, and she's very good at her job, but
but it's just really funny, you know, that so I'm very interested to see how that plays out in Zack Snyder's Justice League, to see how they bring that around, you know, to its full potential, I guess. But
I'd love to see some sort of exchange like that, because you guys ever read or watched like the New Frontier, like the DC story?
No.
Yeah, it's a fun story. It's basically kind of a Elseworld story of how the Golden Age transitioned to the Silver Age. And for Batman, like how, like, it's obviously different character, but Batman finding out that Martian Manhunter was a Martian, and he's like, you know, with Superman, I'd have to do this, or I'd have to get kryptonite. With you, because this is in the 60s, all I need is a penny for a book of matches.
Oh.
And it's one of my favorite, like, Batman snap moments ever.
Mm.
Yeah, cricket. You should hear the crickets right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, because these Martian Manhunters, it's an interesting weakness. It's an interesting fear, you know, that cripples him. So fire. So
and Harry did not know that he was playing Martian Manhunter. So what's really funny about going back and watching that is that you have to like keep everything in mind. So Zack knew that's Martian Manhunter. So as far as designing how the story was told and how it was shot, you pay attention to kind of these lingering moments of, you see him looking at Superman from behind the, what is it called? The double glass or whatever. Yeah. So just these lingering shots where Harry's coming at it from one angle of just playing, I'm playing this character and yada, yada, yada. And I'm looking at Superman. But they, you know, that's one of the cool things about film as an art form, as opposed to something like theater, where there's so many more moving parts to it. And there's so many different people responsible for creating the finished product. So Harry doing what he's doing, it's not like it doesn't work with the reveal. It does work. But also part of why it works is because they've had the foresight, because Zack's a genius. And then he goes, okay, so that's Martian Manhunter. So we have to shoot this a certain way and edit it together so that when people come back and rewatch this, then they're going to go, oh, yeah, see, sense. Because we're holding on him. And then he's looking at Superman. So he's thinking about his own alienness and his own alien journey up until this point. And it does.
Well, you know what? It does.
No, he didn't know. He has said that in interviews. He was like, I didn't know until like when the internet blew up, because Zack made it clear on Vero. That's where he first revealed it. He was like, oh yeah, that's Martian Manhunter. And then I think Harry texted Christina Wren or something like that. And he was like, do you know anything about this? He just had no idea.
So he gave him motivation. Okay, I want you to play it like this, but didn't tell him why. You know what I mean?
I mean, we would have to ask Harry.
This way.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you why I want you to play it this way. I want you to just I want you to be outside the box. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. I want you to do this and play this character this way. But later reveal, hey, you're going to be Martian Manhunter, and that's why I asked you to play that character that way.
Yeah. Well, it's just layers. I mean, layers on layers. That's why I like Zack's films, is that, you know, they've grown with me. Like, take, for example, the first time I saw Sucker Punch, when it first came out, I didn't think about art the way I think about it now. So I didn't appreciate it the way it was meant to be appreciated when it first came out. And I saw it, I was just kind of watching this giant spectacle, and I was going, oh, wow, that's cool. That's a really creative fight happening. But I didn't get it. The way, like, now I watch it and I have a whole other way of analyzing it and talking about it.
That's the whole thing about Zack's movies. And that's the great thing about Zack's DC movies, is that they make you think. And I walked out of Man of Steel for the first time going, this is awesome. This is Superman. This is a Superman that I grew up with, reading it since John Byrne rebooted him in 86 in the comics, and made it more about Clark and Clark's struggles and Clark's trying to find himself as a fish out of water kind of situation, where he's struggling with who he is.
In the human society. I love that.
Yeah. Is he Clark? Is he Superman? What's the more important thing? And so many times in that run, he struggles with that. you know, and who he is. And so I walked out of Man of Steel literally going, everybody's going to love this because they can relate to Superman finally, and they're going to love this. This is fantastic. And then when I started seeing people who didn't get it, I'm like, And then when people started coming at me with, oh, Marvel movies are better, and Marvel movies this, and Marvel movies that, and DC just sucks. It's like, well, what didn't you like about the movie? Well, Marvel did. Well, no, I didn't ask you what Marvel did. I asked you what about Man of Steel. What about Man of Steel didn't you like? Well, I didn't like because, you know, in Marvel they do that. No, I didn't ask you about Marvel.
I didn't like
asked you about Man of Steel. Right.
But I did like the movie. I liked it. It was a rehashing, but I really did like the movie.
But it wasn't a rehash, Tony. It was not a rehash at all. It was a complete retelling of the Superman movie. It was completely different than anything that we had seen up to that point because you didn't get that.
I own it on DVD.
No, I know, Tony. I'm just saying it was different than what we saw definitely out of the 78 Superman, the movie.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
It was definite. The only thing that I think could even come close to being that similar to this story is Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, because Lois and Clark.
I never saw that.
Okay. So
I like that.
So I'll tell you what.
I like that. It's just been a long
I
time
never watch
since
it
I've
now
seen it.
because Dean Cain, we the Asian community disown Dean Cain, but do you swear on your show? I'm so sorry, I should have asked.
Well, I mean, we try to curb it, but you know, stuff happens.
I won't do it again. I just had a visceral reaction because he sucks. So
well, I will say this. Hold on, because I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it loud, and listen to me. The man was Superman. The man gets what Superman should be. I've met the man, and he did something for me and my family when we met him and stood up to something that impressed me. And you know what? Here's the thing. I think we got to get rid of this idea that we have to agree with everybody's politics to be able to accept anybody. That's just my opinion. And the thing is, I'm not saying I agree with everything the man says, but I will say this. He was Superman. His show was good. And I loved it because it was based at the time, even that show was running parallel to what was being written in the comics.
Yes.
Every week was like watching something that was literally happening in the comics at that time. Even when they decided to have Clark and Lois get married, they did the same thing on Lois and Clark. It was a good show. I own it. I watch it. Like I said, I met him a couple years ago, and here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing. I met him, and Tiffany can attest to this. We met his manager. And his manager, now, of course, this was before I know all the controversy of things he said and things he's done and everything else. And I get all that. But you know what? He
was also the manager for John Schneider, who was right next door to him.
Yeah. And the guy just gushed about Dean Cain and how nice he was. And he was very nice to my family. He was very nice to my kids. And actually, like I said, he told somebody who tried to get in the way and prevent us from actually even being able to get a picture with him because they were trying to charge us extra just because we had our 3 kids with us.
5 instead of 4 in a picture.
I hate those types of conventions. Like, it's really, I mean, they're not happening right now. Well, some of them are doing the online thing. But like, I have a real issue with the kind of commercialization of the way conventions have really started to evolve over the last few years, where it's just, how do we like bleed the guests out of as much money as conceivably possible? When I see these package deals for like the Marvel actors where it's, you pay $500, $750, $1,000 for your golden package, your golden VIP package or whatever for whatever actor. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't care who any of these people are. It is not worth it. Is that Bruce Campbell?
$110. Bruce Campbell.
Hey, that's not that bad. I'm like, there are other There are these other deals.
Look, we met Tom Welling that way. We got a picture just like that with Tom Welling. We got a picture just like that with Brandon Routh, and got to talk to him for a while. And I actually got to talk to those guys. And
Brandon's awesome.
You know what I got to say? You know what I got to say about all that is that one of the things I've been blessed with is that in meeting Tom Welling, in meeting Brandon Routh, and especially Brandon Routh, because Brandon Routh completely changed my whole opinion about him and about Superman.
Brandon
Returns.
is the nicest.
Oh,
and literally the time.
We lost him on Legends, and he wasn't watching him. He was still taking it from the movie. So I'm like, no. He has so many layers. You got to see him.
But the thing is in having a chance to sit down or like spend some time with him and talk to him, and literally we were at his panel. Yeah, we were at his panel, and I got to hear him talk about some stuff that he really loved, and then I shared from my point of view, just my experience with Superman and stuff. My son's middle name is Jor-El. I love Superman. Superman is a huge part of my life, was growing up, because I grew up without a dad, and Superman was always this male role model that, even though he was a fictional character, I always looked at him as not just, the superpowers and everything, but the way that he cared for people in his life around him was always an inspiration to me. And so the thing is in sharing that, like, Brandon has a son now. And so it was amazing, because then when we walked through a line to go meet him, he literally came out from around the table and gave me a hug. He remembered me from the discussion we had, and he came out and gave me a hug. He spent some time with us.
Remember when you were allowed to hug people?
Oh, I know.
I missed that.
I know. And Brandon Routh did this.
Hi everyone, in the Poindexter Lounge. I hope you enjoyed Legends of Tomorrow, and thanks for watching. Thank you.
Which really ticked off the lady who was standing there.
I loved it.
Like, she was turning beet red because
he was giving you the eye of shame.
Oh, because we had paid for like the $100 picture. And the thing was the other lady had told us we could go through and say hi to him. And so that's what we were doing. And this lady was fuming. She's like, well, you better not take a picture. And so then, because he came out and talked to us and had this meaningful conversation with us, he starts talking. And he gave us like spoilers for Legends of Tomorrow and stuff. And I teased him, because he's like, now you can't tell anybody the end, what I just told you. And I was jokingly, I said, well, I don't know, man, we got a YouTube channel. He's like, no, you can't tell anybody. And I said, well, maybe you might want to say a little shout out or something, and he showed that. And he was, and he goes, done. He says, let's do it. And he says, get your phone out. And so like it was him. Like he told me to do it. And that lady was over there just like,
you can't do that.
No, that's always funny, is like when they have really intense wranglers, because that's what they are. They wrangle them. They herd them like cattle. It's very, very intense and very like, I don't even like doing I mean, now I don't even have a choice because the cons aren't happening anymore. But now I just started to get to the point where I was like, listen, I would rather put the energy in and try to get some sort of press situation. I don't want to go through the channels of meeting you with the mass herd of everybody else, because it's just so intense. And it's like, listen, I understand that you're just trying to do your job, but like, I'm not stupid, and I'm not going to have you talk to, like, I've met plenty, like, and I don't mean this in like a snobby way, because like, I've met plenty of actors before. It's not that big of a deal. And like, even if I'm very enthusiastic, it doesn't mean that I'm going to do anything that you're going to get fired over.
And that's the thing. And so like when we met Dean Cain, there was a little sign there that said you could only have 3 people in your photo.
Oh.
And so when we had the 5 of us, because we have 3 boys, we walked up there and we were waiting. And so it was right before Batman v Superman came out. And so one of my sons was wearing a Batman shirt. And the other ones walked up, and we all walked up, and Dean was like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" He immediately took to the kids, and he was teasing Logan for wearing the Batman shirt. He's like, "Hey, I guess we got to fight, because and it was teasing him and stuff." And then when he found out that Landon's middle name was Jor-El, like he just totally played into that with him and talked to him. He talked to our oldest, and then I got to tell him, share with him my Superman experience, and I got to show him my tattoo. Which is the famous, tattoo that he
freckles
that he had, with my freckles in there, and so it was really cool. And so he goes, oh, he's like, all right, awesome, let's take a picture. Well, the boys, when they saw that you could only get 3, our boys had told Tiffany and I, you know what, you guys watch that show. We didn't grow up with that show. you know what? Go ahead, you guys. You know,
your kids probably don't know who he is.
Right? They didn't. They do now, but they said, you know, you guys go ahead and get the picture. So when he said, let's get a picture, Tiffany and I walked back there to get the picture with him, and he looks and he goes, well, isn't everybody going to be in the picture? But the lady had told us that if we wanted to get the picture, the little snapshot with our own phone, that we were going to have to pay $90.
What? I thought this was like for the professional photo op.
No, this is for in the booth.
This was literally at his booth with our phone. Told us we were going to have to pay $90.
That's how those cons are. Like, because the thing is, if you go to like a really big convention, whether it's San Diego Comic-Con or New York Comic-Con, I've gone to both. Those are large enough now that there's a lot of overlap as far as, you know, they have sponsors that help to run the event, and you have deals with studios. So like studios know that the event is a certain size and it attracts a certain amount of press. So they go there to promote. So you can have them do signings and make appearances and things like that are, so you have a potential to see certain talent. Like you can go to a big panel and you can see that they're going to promote whatever show or whatever film. So you get to see them for free. I mean, you still have to pay to go to the convention, but you don't have to pay like to go to that panel specifically.
Exactly.
But when you have these smaller cons that they're big, but they're not like that.
Yeah.
The whole profit is from, you know, buy overpriced food, buy overpriced photo ops, buy overpriced autographs. And of course, a lot of that money also has to go to the talent because that's why they're there.
And I totally get that. I totally get that part. But it was amazing because when we went back there to get our picture with him and he said, hey, isn't everybody going to get in the photo? I said, well, we would, but we'd have to pay twice. And I said, you know, and I kind of explained it to him quickly. And he just looked at me and he said, hold on just 1 second. And he went over to the lady. He took the sign and he said, don't do that again. And he took the sign.
He went on more than don't do it again.
He put the sign
in face.
He put the sign down. He put the sign down. He said, come over here, guys. And we took about 8 or 9 photos with him. We took silly shots. We took fun shots. I pulled up the sleeve. He's like pointing at my arm. Like we were just doing all this stuff. So I understand that people don't always agree with his politics, and I understand all that stuff. But I will say this: I've met 3 guys. I've met 3 guys so far that played Superman or Clark Kent or whatever you want to call him, and all 3 of those understood the weight. Even Tom Welling understood the weight of what it was. Yes, I know why, but I mean, Tom Welling gets a lot of flack because people try to say that he's not that he wasn't Superman. Look, to me,
why?
Because he didn't wear the tights. That's
not his fault. He didn't write the show.
Exactly.
Well.
I love Tom Welling.
In defense, he did. They did want to have him wear the uniform at one point, and he famously said no. That he didn't want to because the original idea was no flights, no tights. And so that's fine. The reality is he was Clark Kent. He was Kal-El. To me, he was still Superman.
Well, didn't he play it longer than anybody else ever has?
Oh yeah, 10
if
years.
anybody's like the most Superman, it's him.
Absolutely.
And longest running superhero television series, I think, still with 10 seasons, right?
That is my defense exactly. That he played that character longer and more than we got more. And I'll tell you what, when people want to talk about who Superman is and who like the rightful person that got passed off to is Tom Welling, because you literally had Christopher Reeve on that show.
Kidder was on there.
Yeah, like everybody was on that show. The entire, I love how they do that. You know how the people who are connected with Superman and the TV shows and the movies and stuff, they all come back and they participate in everybody else's stuff, and I really love that. But and I will say this: so I came this close to get. We came this close.
Duke is your dad, or Luke Duke,
right?
Or whatever. One of the Dukes is
right. We came this close.
Jonathan.
Legit.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. We came this close to meeting Henry. We came this close to meeting Henry when he was here for in Michigan for Batman v Superman. And a guy who I was good friends with came up to me after church one day and he showed me a picture on his phone of him and Henry Cavill together.
We were so jealous.
And I was like, okay, dude. So what's the story there? And he's like, well, we're workout buddies. He works out at my gym and we've become good friends. He's like, and we work out together now. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool, man. And I was like, that is awesome. And he starts telling me that apparently while they were here at the time, Henry was like dating his cousin or something. Was it Tiff?
Yeah, it was his cousin.
So,
Do we need to be putting his business out?
I don't know. No, it was just funny. No, I'm just saying, whatever. This was happening. And so he told me, look, we've been working out together. He's a really great guy. We're going to have him over for dinner. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. That's fantastic. And he looks at me and he goes, well, Enosh, if we're able to get him before he moves on to Chicago, you're invited. And I was like,
to go buy Oops, I Crap
Get
My
out
Pants.
of town. Get out of town. I was like, dude, don't. I was like, you cannot say things like that to me. You cannot tell me that I'm gonna get that it's possible that I'm gonna get to go have dinner with Henry Cavill, like in a non, celebratory way.
Having dinner with Superman. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Hey, Henry Cavill, can you speak right here into this my chest here?
But it was but unfortunately they finished filming early here in Detroit and they moved on to Chicago right away. And so it didn't happen. But like apparently they still talk. But I will say this, every time I've seen an interview with Henry, every time I just see like these little things where they catch Henry on the street, all that stuff, he exudes what it means to be Superman. Yes. He understands what it means to be Superman. He
Is that the headline? Henry on the street?
But I've always felt that way about
Superman.
Didn't Henry do an interview with Russell Crowe and he was like, I could have it's buried at the deepest recesses of my memory. I could have sworn he told a story about how when he was really young, I want to say like a child actor or a teen actor, and he was on some project and Russell Crowe was on the project, and then Russell Crowe was the one that had told him about respecting fans or something like that. Or maybe I'm hallucinating and it was
no, that was on Genevieve, that was on the Graham Norton show. Russell Crowe and Amy Adams and Henry Cavill were on promoting Man of Steel. And he told about
the real thing.
Yeah, Russell Crowe was making a film called Proof of Life, and I guess Henry Cavill was a kid at the school.
I love that.
And basically, I guess he made like 2 little packages, one for the kid that played his son and one for Henry Cavill after a sort of an in-depth conversation they'd had. And that was what inspired Henry Cavill to want to become an actor. And he told that story to Russell Crowe when they met on the set of Man of Steel.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
Graham
cool.
Norton is amazing. Graham Norton's show is so good.
Well, that's just because a lot of US chat shows are garbage. I mean, like, there's no disrespect to Graham Norton, but I mean, like, if we're gonna go there and we're gonna start ranking hosts, I mean, like, I thought Alan Carr's Chatty Man was a much funnier and much more entertaining show. But
Alan Carr is one of the funniest human beings on the planet, in my opinion.
That's the fun part.
They give him booze.
Wine? All right, big glass of
Alan
wine.
Carr, like, as soon as the glass comes out, he's like, what do you want for a drink, darling? I'll make you a little drink to get... And I'm like, yes. Can I be a celebrity to just go on out? But they canceled it, and I don't know why. I'm very upset about it. Like, let me not go on that rant today, but my God, every interview is just 10 out of 10 content. So.
I never got a chance to see much of the show, but I loved his stand-up. I still do. It is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, if any of you have an actor that you like, go search on YouTube and see if Alan Carr has interviewed them, because it's always peak content.
It's because he lets them drink. It's like drunk history. Do you guys have that in the States?
Oh, I love that.
Drunk history? Okay, drunk history is my favorite thing. Like, we're going to tell the story, but we're going to let you drink this bottle of whiskey.
And then getting actors to act out the scenes. That's the best part of drunk history for me.
That is the most amazing. And then do the vocal.
Hey, Tony.
Listen.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony. Listen.
That's not what George Washington said.
Listen. Look. I was going to do a show tonight, and I wanted to invite you, Tony.
You forgot.
Where are you, Tony?
I deserve this. I deserve all of this.
Tony, I was going to invite you to my show.
It's all right. I'm Mike Zero, so like I deserve it too.
And you showed up, and I was like, yeah. Here we go. It's Tony, and he's ready to go on my show. And then
the drunk lounge.
And then you came in here and you started saying things that started ticking off
the Poindexter bar car.
You started ticking off this lady right here.
This is a wrestling promo now.
Look. Shh. I'm talking. It's my
I'm
sorry.
Listen.
Let me touch your face.
Listen. Shh.
Linda.
Bring it down.
Listen, Linda.
I want to tell you.
You went down.
Why did you fall over?
You know
does
exactly.
that too well.
Look, you doing all that makes about as much sense as the stuff that Kavari's saying in the chat right now, talking about Man of Steel and Superman not saving people. And look, I might have had a couple. But even I know the Superman was saving. It wasn't even Superman yet. How are you gonna say that stuff, Kavari? When the fact is that man,
we need to figure out what
even
this
called
one
him
is.
that yet. He was saving the world from being terraformed, and terraform's a big word.
So
when
what's
he
driving
saved it, you're too worried. Look, shh, Tony. Where are you, Tony? Look, hold on. Come here, Tony. Come here, Tony.
Yeah, this way.
Tony, listen. I'm just telling you, Kavari doesn't. I did it again.
Fell down.
Okay. Kavari doesn't understand that in Avengers they let everybody die, and all they do is pose. Superman. All those buildings fall over. They crash. I swear.
Drunken speak ever.
Isn't it?
You don't know.
Oh, man.
You should have seen him when he had no hair and he had a wig on and he's like, hold my hair.
Listen.
This guy,
man,
I don't know what his name is yet.
Listen, are you making fun of me? Because you don't make fun of me on my show.
I'm not making
this
fun
is
of
my
you. I'm
show,
having a good time.
my place. You made fun of that young lady. You made her mad, and I will not stand for that. I am very sorry. I am very sorry for Tony. I apologize.
Me?
Yeah, we're talking about you. Who else are we talking about around here?
Did I make you mad?
He's also doing the drunk impression.
Are you freaking kidding me right now, Tony? You're sitting up there in Canada acting like you're all just awesome up in Canada. We never did anything wrong up here in Canada. Meanwhile, Superman's not saving the millions of people who are dying in those buildings, and he's just making out with Lois, according to Kavari over here. And I'm just saying. I
didn't know this was for me. Now it's way funnier.
I'm just saying. Shh. I'm just saying. We gotta love each other. We gotta be good to each other.
Excellent to each other.
I actually kind of deserve this a little bit. Not today.
A little bit.
Not today. Not today. I don't deserve this.
Today.
Maybe a couple weeks ago, I deserve this.
Tony may have had a couple of drinks over the 3-hour shift.
Well,
okay.
It's all good. It's all good. Okay, that's all.
That was an adventure.
I was just waiting to see how long the bit was gonna go for. I was like, as was
I.
Going.
I was like,
Still
No,
going.
I was like, oh damn.
There was one stream he was on where it was like you and Zeverfett doing the parody of the presidential debate, talking about like selling toys. There's toy sellers and toy collectors, and
yeah, that was funny.
Oh goodness!
But no, you know what? But like I said, in the end, today was just a great day for DC fans, and I'm so excited to see that. Look, you know what? We're getting the movies. All the naysayers can say whatever they want. They can not like Man of Steel. For all I care, I don't care. The reality is that there's one thing I and Jonita Davis and I talked about this. At the end of the day, folks, if you don't like it, guess what?
Don't watch it.
Don't have to watch it.
You don't have to watch it, but guess what? We're getting it, and you can't take it away. And all of you can gripe and complain all you want to, but the reality is Zack Snyder is getting his vision put out there, and we are going to see it, and we're going to all be able to enjoy it. And for those of us who are looking forward to it, you know,
ostracize yourself, or sorry, so
I'm looking forward to it.
Size yourself and put your head in the sand. Who cares?
Exactly.
Doesn't matter. Let the people who want to enjoy
like
it.
I was one of those people that like when the even when I was one of those people that when the like the different members of the league started kind of saying release the cut. I'll admit I was even a little bit like, oh yeah, sure. But when it started picking up steam, I'm like, this is happening. If this happens, it's great. If not, then it was a great movement regardless, and we did some amazing things. But when I finally saw the big trailer, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's real. I have never been more excited to see something in years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is truly an event. This is true. This is truly
Since Star Wars
history.
rebooted. Since Star Wars rebooted,
Yeah,
man,
that was only other time I felt that kind of ramp up was like when Force Awakens came out. But this is...
I love this. Double MJ says the Avengers literally had shawarma after half the people in the city died.
Well, it wasn't shawarma.
Well, no, that was in the first one. Nobody died.
That's the one. That's the one. That's the one in New York. Like half of New York got leveled, and they just acted like, oh.
Where Chris Evans has to do this because he has the beard. Chris Evans has to literally do this because he has the beard.
Yes.
And they didn't want to spend the money to CGI the beard out.
Yeah, that one they won't CGI out.
Or like Age of Ultron, where they basically leveled, was it Johannesburg or whatever it was? Like one of the I think it was South Africa.
Yeah, it's just I just say, look, at the end of the day, I love the fact that so many different people from so many different backgrounds, from so many different points of view, from the people who were here from the beginning, right, and fought from the very beginning and believed in Zack, and to the people who either were on the other side and then took some time and they came around, and this is what I say to that too, because I've seen a little bit of this going around, and that's what today's all about today.
Is it like a fake fan type thing? Like, oh yeah, fan.
Look, today
is
hashtag us united, right? And I will say this. To those people who are like, oh, well, that person wasn't with us from the beginning, so no, we're not going to do. Here's the thing. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that what we want, is for people to come around and say, yeah, you're right. This is a good idea. Don't go shooting the people down that have come around, and don't put yourself in a position where you're making yourself look like an idiot to people who who maybe they're being an idiot, like, look, we smack stuff down here, we talk about stuff like that. Nerdy Dawson gave me a new video that's actually related to the Snyder Cut and related to Snyder himself for our 2 Cents on Nonsense show.
Sweet.
We usually go after Star Wars stuff because that's the biggest glut of videos, that are getting made like that, about
I do make a lot.
But you do. But there's literally one that Dawson sent me today of this guy, and Dawson says, now I'm going to warn you, Enosh, you're going to get angry. You're not just going to say that's silly.
Oh,
this is silly.
And one pops around.
There was one zero video you did on 2 cents. I mean, I think it was a Zero video. I have not seen you angry anywhere else on this channel.
That was actually Doomcock. When Doomcock started like gloating in the fact that Disney employees were,
and he put it as a hashtag.
Yeah, when he was gloating about the fact that Disney employees were being let go, people were losing their jobs, and you're making videos about I was right. Shut up. That's not cool. That is not cool.
Wait a minute. Wait, what? Who? What is happening? Who is getting happy that regular, working class or whatever people are getting fired while executives are are continuing to keep their bonuses? What are we even talking about right now? What? I feel like we just went to Pleasantville or something. I don't even know where we are.
It's a video series. It's a video series that we do. Yes. It's a show that we do on here called 2 Cents on Nonsense, where we talk about we review videos that like are way out in left field. And I don't know if you ever heard of a guy. If you're into Star Wars, I'm a big Star Wars fan as well. And
I'm into Star Wars by myself. I don't get involved with anything to do with any other fans of Star Wars. It's just me by myself watching what I like. And actually, no, I have one friend who I love, and if I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it with her because we both stand the prequel trilogy and we both stand Padme Amidala. So it's like, that's my girl. We got it. I don't need anyone else.
And see, I'm of the mind that look, I love Star Wars. I just love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. We use the hashtag I love Star Wars. Hashtag I love Star Wars, because I say, look, all Star Wars is not necessarily for everybody, but you know what? Star Wars is awesome. And that's why I can like the prequels, I can like the originals, and I can like the sequels. I can love it all. And so the thing is, though, is there's a guy who he wears this big helmet. Actually, I'll show you what he looks like if you've never heard of him.
What does that have to do with people losing their jobs? That's
this guy. This will make sense in a second. We promise.
This guy.
This will make sense in a second.
This guy right here. His name is Doomcock. He wears this helmet, and he does these very misogynist, very anti-women videos where he talks basically about how Disney sucks, Star Wars sucks, it's all SJW crap. Kathleen Kennedy is awful. She's horrible. She's ruining everything. And so we do this show, 2 Cents on Nonsense, my friend Johnny and I. And so in doing so, yeah, absolutely. And so the thing is he did an episode where he talked about how at the beginning of the pandemic, he made a prediction. He's all about that. He says that he has insiders in Disney who know people and feed him all this, this stuff, which it's actually been found out that really he just goes on 4chan and gets all these rumors and stuff. And people literally planted fake stories on 4chan and he picked them up. And that's why they know for sure that that's what he's doing, because he picked up their stories and ran them as stories like that his insiders knew this stuff. And so before the pandemic, or during the beginning of the pandemic, he predicted, because these people are all about, clout, and I predicted this, and look, I got this right and stuff. And so he predicted that if the pandemic went on too long, that people were going to start losing their jobs and Disney was going to suffer and all this stuff, right? Well, obviously we're in the state that we are now and things have happened. And then, 28,000 people got laid off by Disney, and lost their jobs and stuff like that. And here's the thing. He puts out this video where he's like, of course, hiding behind his big, bedpan helmet, and he's like, and with his big bowstring voice, and says,
"I told you so.
I told you all. I predicted that this would happen. I was right. And so we basically did a video and said, you know what? I got angry because I said that's absolute garbage. It's one thing to be able to say like, hey, you know what? I figured at the beginning of this, like we all did, that if this went on for much longer, look, companies are going to struggle, things are going to happen, people are going to get laid off. But you don't make a video gloating in the fact that you got it right and you predicted it and people should somehow come to you for news based on that. And so it ticked me off.
And he put a hashtag on the screen. You can look at the video because they show it during the watching of 2 Cents on Nonsense. In the video itself, it actually has on screen hashtag Doomcock was right.
Yep.
That was what got me angry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, corporations are greedy. That's not a secret. Second of all, That was not just a Disney. Like, okay, anybody watching who's like even remotely into beauty or makeup or whatever, Sephora. I'm sure even if you don't buy makeup, but you've been to a mall, Sephora got into a huge controversy because they tried to release this really, PR positive statement about, oh no, we care about our employees, we're going to take care of our employees, because mind you, they're one of the wealthiest corporations in the beauty industry. And then it was like a couple weeks later, a month later or something to that effect, and they laid off a bunch of their employees. And I'm going, you have the money, don't lie to me about that. So I've been buying from Ulta ever since. That's a different
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
But
if it's something that you feel okay.
Bye, Tony.
Thank you for being on, Tony. It's great to see you.
Yeah, we're gonna start wrapping stuff up here. But yeah, the point is that I love you, Tony.
Take care.
Love you guys.
You'll be good, man.
If it's something you feel right when it comes to, like, if it's something that you feel right about when it comes to buying from this business, whatever it is, go for it.
Well, the thing is Dawson shared this with me, and it's literally a video, and like I had to look at this video. I watched this video, and it's literally this guy talking about how he claims that Zack Snyder used his daughter's passing.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah,
we are not. Oh my god!
For his own gain, and as an excuse for the fact that he got himself fired off of Justice League.
Thank God that it's just you and Johnny that do that show. Thank God.
And then it's family friendly.
You want to talk about something that
I would not be a happy camp. I mean, not that any of us would be, but you understand where I'm coming from. Hopefully.
Oh, I think we
family.
all know. We all know. Yeah, Barcelona put it as best as I think anybody could put it. That right there. So
you crushed it for the super chat.
Hey, what's up, Canadian super chat?
Thank you, buddy.
That's going Milee to Store. Works with the Poindexter Lounge here.
Yeah, we give away free comic books every week thanks to Crush It and the Milee Store. In fact, don't forget. So we'll absolutely talk about that here at the end. Got a free stack of comic books. Give away a comic book every week.
Spidey. Is that Scarlet Spider on the top?
That is. Wait, hold on. No, is that Scarlet? No, it's not Scarlet Spider. It's It's
Scarlet Spider.
Is that Scarlet Spider?
Yeah.
I thought Scarlet. No. I'm sorry. I'm thinking Iron Spider. That is Scarlet Spider. Okay.
Yeah.
No, and all you got to do is answer the nerd question of the week, which is really, really super easy this week. Is just how was Jason Todd brought back to life? That's all you got to do is answer that in the chat, in any one of our videos, in the comment section. And if you just put that in there, you are eligible for a free comic book, and we'll give that away at the end of the week. So there you go. So thank you, Crush It. You are awesome. And we will take that $5, and that $5 will go with what we are actually putting together right now. I don't know if you heard about this, Genevieve, but we have raised the money to put a brick in honor of Zack Snyder at the Superman Museum. Have you ever been to the Superman Museum?
No, where is it?
It's literally in Metropolis, Illinois. It's at the bottom of Illinois. It's an actual city, Metropolis, Illinois. It's all based around Superman. Apparently, they found a loophole because DC never tried to claim copyright on anything that they did, and so the copyright law says that because they didn't go after them for so many years, the city can do whatever they want. So now I guess they just kind of work together. So when you drive into town, it says "Welcome to Metropolis," has a big picture of Superman. It says "Home of Superman," and they have in their center square, right out in front of City Hall, is this giant Superman statue, and it's just awesome. Me and my family went there this summer, and it was just fantastic. And so they have a walkway with these bricks that are either in honor of people. There's a lot of celebrities actually who have purchased bricks because it helps to keep the museum going, and the museum is awesome. There's actually some things from like Batman v Superman and Man of Steel in the museum. And so as we were walking, I was reading all these bricks, and I told my family, I said, we should sponsor this. We should get people together, and we should put a brick here in honor of Zack Snyder and his family. And so that's exactly what we've been doing. We raised the money, and it's funny. I was talking with Nana about this when we had her on the show last week. They were just on the show last night, but her and Cole. But we were talking about it last week, and when I made her aware of this, she goes, "Hey, you know, what would be a great stretch goal is." We needed the 650 to be able to put it in to pay all the costs and everything. And so we've hit that goal. And so now we're stretch goaling it. And they were sharing with me like how when they were raising money and stuff for Snyder Cut stuff, you know, and for billboards and things like that, that they had stretch goals where they would give the additional monies to, suicide prevention. And so that's what we're going to do. Since we've already raised the money for the brick, the GoFundMe is still up. You can find all the links, guys, down in the description below. And so that's what we're going to do. And then Zach is going to be aware of it. And we are going to put, we're getting the big one. We're getting the big 12 by 12. And
Nice.
so we're going to do it in honor of Zach. And so, and then also help out with suicide prevention as well. So that's good stuff that is going on here at the Poindexter Lounge. Good conversation, folks. Good conversation. I think I always go back to iron sharpens iron, and so I love when people sometimes like we kind of butt up against each other a little bit, and then we learn something from each other, and I think that's exactly
within reason. Some people are just like looking for a fight. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, and
not like that.
Yeah, no. I hear you.
As long as everybody enters in good faith, then we're open to conversation.
And that's really what our 2 cents on nonsense show is about. Is like we just when people like have a bunch of nonsense, we call it what it is. We say it what it is. But when when we can learn something from somebody and we can talk about it, that's what we do as well. And so, I mean,
that's one of the big, it's a major thesis in BBS. I mean, like when I went to Zack's charity event last year, and I went for all 3 days, but specifically on the day that they did the BBS screening and the panel and Q&A afterwards, I asked a question during the Q&A to Zack. I asked a question every day that I was there, and every time it was to Zack, but that's besides the point. No disrespect to the other panelists, but if you're only letting me ask one, I'm gonna ask Zack. And I asked him about, his use of the theme fear of the other, because I love when people use fear of the other in genre material, but in an intelligent way, not in the lazy way. And just asking about basically the inspiration for using that theme and having that be very present in like the catalyst, I guess, of Bruce's hatred towards Superman, because they give you the larger context of, it relates to his own personal trauma, but you hear his rhetoric, it's very xenophobic. Like, it's very exactly what you hear those people who don't like people of color, who don't like immigrants, who don't like refugees. How do they talk about those people? That's exactly how Bruce talks about Superman. That's not an accident. When he's like, well, if there's a 1% chance that there's, then we have to treat it as an absolute certainty. It's like the typical fear mongering, like, don't let anybody in our borders type of rhetoric. That's what I was asking about. And he made the point of, like, because he kind of went on a tangent in answering it, because you can see how his mind works, where he's like jumping all over the place trying to answer the question. But he basically said the way he wrapped up answering it was, he was explaining that, it's about, you're introducing someone who he's at one place and you see him change his mind. And that is something that's important, for people to have their misunderstanding, but to learn from it and to, like, grow out of it, to receive that new information. So, I mean, it's very relevant to the thing you just said. I mean, it's exactly what Zack is saying with his film, among many other things that he's saying in it. But so.
And I love that you can boil. Let me interrupt you there. Sorry. I love that you can. I love that you can kind of almost boil it down, like that kind of Bruce's sort of xenophobic, sort of train of thought into the, like, it was in the trailer, but like that one quote, you can break the whole thing down to basically, this is where I'm from, denigrating the people as far as how they are and how they look. Maybe it's the Gotham City in me. We have a problem with freaks dressed like clowns. Of course, it's referencing Joker, but if you're looking at it from a sort of that xenophobic context, I think it applies just as well, personally.
Yeah, well, because it's that thing. It's like you're fearing the other. And when I say fear of the other is with a capital O. It's an academic term that gets used in academic discourse. So, you know, that other can represent anybody that is outside of your in-group. So that's why it can apply to racism or xenophobia or the LGBTQ community or whatever it is. So in this case, it's literally an alien from outer space. So people, that's what's so interesting is that people, you know, they'll watch BVS and they don't understand how applicable it is to everything that is happening on a socio-political level. And I'm not trying to hijack your show and be like, let's talk about politics, but it's so present in the art. And it's very strange for me that people don't see it because I don't think it's subtle at all in how he presents it. I mean, when Superman arrives,
Superman, I mean,
when Superman arrives and those people have those signs where it's like, "Go home, aliens. We don't like aliens." What is it? Something about like Jesus hates aliens or some shit like that. Sorry, I swore again.
No, you're good.
God damn it! But you know, it's like it's so unsubtle. Like, how are you missing it? It's not light-handed subtext at all.
It's almost
so just like, here you go. Here's
it's
the
almost
message.
baked into the modern Superman tradition when it comes to the way that most modern writers of Superman have tackled the character. It's amazing that it kind of gets lost on people. But if it does, it's more than willing to help kind of show them.
That's the thing. I mean, that's Superman's story, right? I mean, he's the ultimate immigrant. He's the ultimate, challenge to our norm. And that's what Man of Steel did. It challenged the norm. That's what I loved about watching it was that it didn't just tell a story of like if Superman showed up, that it wasn't just this feel good thing of like, oh, cool, there's a guy in bright blue and a red cape and he's here to save kittens in a tree.
No,
and that's what and that's
not
what people,
the Tim Daly Superman.
No, and that's what people miss. It's like here's a guy who's grown up struggling his whole life with what he should be and who he should be, and challenged with like, should I even save my own dad? Should I, what do I do with the responsibility that I've been given, and at what point do I come out and use that ability? And then for people to place on Superman, like, even Kavari was in the chat, and Kavari is like our resident I don't know, troll, whatever.
I'll steel man him and say devil's advocate.
Being ironic, or is that genuinely what he thinks?
Oh no, that's what he thinks. That's genuinely what he thinks.
I will steel man him and say that he is the sort of the channel's devil's advocate.
Okay, that's being nice. So I would just say though, but like seriously, when I see that from people, and I just go, you don't have a clue then as to what goes on in the real world. You're not looking at this in a realistic point of view, which is what Zack tried to paint, was that if we all woke up tomorrow and there was an alien and we found out there was an alien because other aliens came looking for the guy and painted him as a bad guy that they were coming to look for, and he was living among us and this secretive thing and all these things, y'all would be scared too.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Zod also, like, he puts out his propaganda. He literally hijacks every channel. And he goes, he may look like one of you, but he is not one of you. I love Michael Shannon so much.
It's almost like the flip is in another Zack adaptation in Watchmen. You look at the way that Manhattan's portrayed as the exact flip, right? Mm-hmm. Because he's like, God exists and he's American, right?
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true.
It's in the book, but still.
Thank you, DC Talk with extended for the $5 super chat. That will also go with our donation. And so so it's just all those things that it's like if we woke up and that was the case, look, we would all be scared. We would all be dealing with things and ideas and thoughts that we would never have thought that we would have had to have dealt with in our life.
Yeah.
We would realize how small we are, how much bigger the universe is, be challenged with all of these things all at once. And in that also comes the threat of the planet being terraformed, and one man who we don't even trust necessarily all the way because we don't even know him.
Yeah.
Our fate is literally placed in that one man's hand. There's not a team of Avengers to come and save everybody and pose after every hit and punch to faceless aliens that, and stuff like that. No. One man. So all this junk of, they should, Superman should have taken him out away. What? Zod wouldn't have left.
He tried to do that. He took him all the way out to space, and Zod just went yeet back to Earth.
Back to Earth, where I'm terraforming the planet from, because that's where he's set up. You can't. Oh, it's not always as simple as just like, oh well, I'll just do this and it will be all right. Everything will be okay once I just take him away. He punched Zod literally all across town, and Zod wasn't going anywhere. And then when it comes down to it, like that moment when he has to break Zod's neck, and he does it. And then the anguish. It's one of the best moments in cinema for me.
He didn't.
Look at him, like, don't make him do it.
He didn't do it for joy. He did it because he knew that he had to do it.
He had to do it. And that moment that reality hits Clark, and he screams out, and then, yeah, you know what? You can make fun of it. Oh, because he was making out with Lois. Lois feels that pain and comes over and needs to comfort this man who has all these powers, has all these abilities, has these godlike abilities, but yet is still challenged with the fact of the weight of what he just had to do, because he's on a journey to the place where we want to see him end up.
When he's never killed anyone before.
I know.
Like, people don't understand. Like, he's never killed anyone. Listen, the whole clash between Zod and Superman in that film is one that I love, and I made an entire video essay about Michael Shannon's General Zod, because he's probably my favorite villain in anything ever.
I loved that character so much, and I loved the way that, at least in my opinion, at least this is my interpretation of the way that the Kryptonians basically enforced sort of collective social norms on the individual, literally genetically, to the way you have Zod doing this, quote unquote, for the good of his people, and like how damaging that can be to individuals within the society. That was how I interpreted it personally.
Well, the whole thing that I went on a whole tangent. I don't want to just like repeat everything I already said in my video essay, but basically, for me watching it, I definitely have my own cultural lens when I watch it, as someone who's Japanese and as someone who, I don't live in Japan. I mean, basically all of my family is there, and I identify more as Japanese than anything else. But with watching that, it was very reminiscent to me of something I see a lot when you have people that are from a particular motherland, and then you have people that are of that culture, but they're diaspora. So either they immigrate or they're born elsewhere. So the amount of connection that you have to your heritage culture can vary across diaspora populations. But you can kind of have this thing that happens where, people from that motherland, they'll be like, oh, well, you're not really Japanese. Or you're not like you're not Japanese, like we're Japanese. And Zod does that exact thing. He's like, where did you train?
Yes.
On a farm? And I was like, ooh,
yes.
Okay, I'm feeling attacked today. All right, we're coming after my personal life. All right, that's fine. I didn't know we were going to dig up those issues. My identity.
It hits hard.
Love
it hits hard. It definitely hits home. I mean,
yeah, and it's just,
it's a great
that's
film.
what's uncanny for me, to watch something like that and to have it be so relevant to my life experience and people that are more like me, because I'm so accustomed to seeing these giant blockbusters made by white men that star white men, and their stories, like, I just kind of watch it. I'm like, all right, it's a story. I see it for what it is. It's entertainment or whatever. But to actually be able to relate to it in like layers that I don't normally get to relate to, because they don't let Asian people be the leads in a lot of stuff in Hollywood. So I was just going, wow, like, that's uncanny. I mean, listen, if Zack would ever grant me an interview, I'd be like, oh boy, we have stuff to talk about, because I have questions. I want to know how you know that this is what is going on, because I don't think this is your life experience, but clearly you have an uncanny ability to understand stuff. So, I mean, part of me wonders, and like, I don't even know if I would ask this, because I worry that it's like, straying into stuff that isn't really any of my business, but he has a multi-ethnic family. He has children adopted who are not white. So I kind of wonder if he's had conversations with them about, like, how it is to grow up where you kind of you have this element of being removed from your heritage culture in a sense. And like maybe that's where he gets this level of understanding from, or maybe he just has a lot of non-white friends. That could also be part of it, because I'm not used to white men like knowing that this is a thing that happens to us. So yeah, it's I know a lot of people prefer BVS over Man of Steel, but listen, if you force my hand, I always pick Man of Steel, partially because I stand Michael Shannon's General Zod. Because
I will always, as much as I like the ultimate cut of BVS, I will always pick Man of Steel. It's just, I think it's as much as I like Batman and stuff, like as much as I like that character, something about the way that Zack Snyder did Superman, particularly the scenes that always clicked with me were always Clark's flashback scenes, particularly when he's a kid. You know, like the scene when he's first discovering, X-ray vision and his super hearing, and it's just this full-on sensory overload. And he has to go
make it small.
Yes. I was like, oh, and
I
it's
can't.
just
That A+
it's
parenting, it's like you can see exactly how good of parents Zack and Deborah are, that they like, oh my God, they're like parenting all of us. I can't.
Listen to my voice.
Even when he was by that fence and he was like gripping it. And
yes.
He
was like, are you okay? And he's like, well, they can't hurt me. He's like, that's not what I meant. I'm like,
exactly.
It's like they can. It's just, it's on the inside, not the outside, where they can still hurt you.
But I don't think
Man
they
of Steel.
really
I forgot
do
how much
that
I
a
like
lot.
Man of Steel.
They don't do that a lot in Hollywood, where you really probe into men's emotions like that. Like, I mean, are men overall overrepresented compared to people who are not men? Sure. But also there's like not that much that really digs into, like, because especially if we're talking about from a US cultural perspective, there's a real issue with men being discouraged from like expressing their emotions in a healthy way, understanding their emotions in a healthy way. And I think that's also part of why people have this weird negative backlash to that version of Superman, is because you see him, he's introverted, he's depressed, he's like, he's very like emotionally vulnerable in a way that's really moving to watch. But if you don't understand that type of material or that type of human experience, then you're going to have this visceral reaction of like, well, this isn't what I like. My heroes are strong. My heroes don't get like hurt emotionally. They don't get their feelings hurt like that.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I just absolutely love about Zack's vision for it, because it's real. It hits you where you live. It does present them in a way that you're not used to seeing superheroes, as not always having all the answers, as not always even being right, as not always being on the right side of an issue. I mean, look at Batman. Like, everybody's so pissed off at Batman, in his portrayal. Like, I literally have a friend who wouldn't go see Batman v Superman because he was just like, he uses a gun and all this stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god,
Golden Age Batman.
I'm like, oh my gosh, are we really?
I always say Golden.
And the guy's like 5 years older than me. The guy's like 5 years older than me, and he tries to tell me, he's like, well, no, man. He's like, I've been reading comics before you. And I'm like, dude, all that material is still there. I can literally go read anything that you read at any
Michael
point in
Keaton
time.
Batman. Putting a bomb in your pants does not keep you alive.
No, like, it's so dumb.
Power.
And that's why I always look at Golden Age Batman, because Golden Age Batman had a gun. It was Batman's opposition to taking life and not holding a gun was introduced in the 70s. Because Denny O'Neil, the editor and the writer at the time, I should say, was personally opposed to the death penalty and felt that was playing out in a sort of a superhero context with old school Batman, and he didn't want to have that happen that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what's funny is, like, even for me, I was like, why is he killing people? And then when it clicked in about Golden Age Batman, I'm like, oh, duh,
Because he's running around with unresolved childhood trauma. I studied psychology, by the way. If you didn't know that about me, that's what my degrees are in. So I definitely pick apart material from that lens a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And it's just, and that's what's uncanny to me is the way he did Batman as well. Like, I've never cared more about Superman or Batman than I do now. With Zack's version of those characters, because like for Batman specifically, all things considered, even though he has to split the screen time with other characters and other plots happening at the same time, they do a lot to flesh him out, where they really give you a lot of material to contextualize. Okay, we have the source, we have this really inciting incident in his life of witnessing his parents being murdered, and specifically not just watching your parents be murdered, but when you're at that age. So there's stages of development in psychology. So it's very different to watch something like that when you're a child than if you are an adult. It doesn't mean that it's not traumatic. It just means that he's not, it's like he's still forming as a human being in a way that you're not forming when you're already at a certain age. So that is happening. And then you have it immediately, because that's the first thing you see. And then you immediately jump to him, like, this is the inciting incident for him hating Superman. And it's a direct parallel to like, oh, here's a tiny child that's like around the same age as when he, lost his own mother. What happened to her? She lost her mom. So it's the same thing. And he's like, oh, it's his fault. I have to blame someone for this because this is a horrible thing that's happening. I need to blame someone. I'm going to blame that guy. Because, I mean, maybe he would have blamed Zod, but Zod died, So clearly he's like, I'm going to blame that guy. And then they give you a lot of information throughout the film of like, he has nightmares. He is coping unhealthily. You never see him go to therapy, do you? No. You see him, I almost swore again. I caught myself. You see him being, indulging in pleasures of the flesh. Yes, we'll say it like that.
There you go.
And he has nightmares. He has that's PTSD.
He's got other superheroes coming back in time and talking to him. And
well, that probably didn't help, Barry. Barry, you're so chaotic, but I love you for it. So it's just
Stop
very
messing up the timeline, Barry.
He's got issues. He's and then you add on all the baggage of like, oh, I've lost other people, and I've lost Robin. So he's losing other people. Like he doesn't really have any close personal relationships except for Alfred. His judgmental nanny / aunt / kind of father figure ish.
And his yes, take care, Gavari. And his ability, I think, his inability to to improperly deal with his trauma is literally built into Wayne Manor with Dick Grayson's suit in the middle of his living room, was it? It's literally staring him in the face.
Let's have this festering wound like on display with nice moody lighting. God, he's so dramatic. He's like an emo child. I fully expect him to play like My Chemical Romance while all of this is happening.
That's kind of what Battinson. That's how Battinson comes off to me, and I'm not saying that because of the Twilight thing. I'm saying that's genuinely how his interpretation of the character feels.
Well, so see what I get out of that is actually, and maybe it's because of my age. No, I get a totally different vibe because I don't get the emo vibe.
I'm being facetious.
But just like his training montage, because you had to have a training montage.
I remember that very well.
So I'm sure you do. Yes. So, but during that training montage, I will just say this: like that's what I'm like this, like he. To me, because he's older, right? Because I'm 44. And so when I think about that, like when I see him as being somebody like he's going to crank up the heavy metal, right? He's got all this angst and aggression that he does that is misplaced. And that, so it's not so much an emo thing of like, because when I think of emo, the emo thing, it's more like, I'm depressed and I'm whiny and I'm this and I'm that. He's angry. That's why, like, even when Alfred tries to tell him, hey, this isn't you. You need to get back to you and stuff. And he's just like, no.
This is what.
No, if there's a 1% chance. Yep. If there's a 1% chance that he's our enemy, then we've got to take it as 100% sure. And all those things, like he's very sure of himself. He's very aggressive in the way that he handles it. And so, and I know, like in what I do for a living, I too deal with a lot of different people who come in with a lot of different backgrounds and different things. And I've been through a lot of trauma in my own life. I mean, I was raised by my grandmother for a reason. My mother was paranoid, schizophrenic, manic depressive, addicted to pretty much every drug you could possibly imagine. Alcohol. She, when she was on her medication, she mixed drugs and alcohol with that. When she wasn't on her medication, it just took her that much further. I've seen my mother do superhuman feats of strength and drop kick people in the face and lift boulders that I can't lift with a friend of mine. I mean, I've seen crazy stuff. And so I had my mom put me through a bathroom wall when I was 11 years old. Like she just like no problem. And I was bigger than her then, and so when people go through trauma, they deal with it differently. And I just see that like with him, like he never had, with all those years and years and years of trying to fight off the evil and seeing that evil in every face that he confronted and just never being able to squash it, you know, having Dick die and going through all that trauma. That's what by the time Superman shows up, he's like, look, if I do anything, and he even says that, he says, look, if this is basically his legacy, that it's like he's been fighting, these criminals in Gotham for 20 years. If he does anything, he looks at it as, I'm saving the world from a possible evil because I'm the only one who could do it, and there's nobody else around who can do it if he does go evil. If he does go wrong.
I know that. I think in that same vein, though, I think it's interesting. People make fun of that scene when Bruce looks at him when he's fighting Superman, and he says, "Save Martha," and he's like, "Why are you saying that name?" Like, people can make fun of that, but that also kind of shows, he's been fighting this whole time, and trying to take him down, and he's had that tunnel vision. But then it was like to realize, wait a minute, my mom's name was Martha, and so was mine, and that commonality, and it was like it kind of showed like a mini breakthrough, because then after that, then they could kick butt together. But I mean, it kind of showed that in that movie, which I thought was cool too.
Yeah, well, he has that moment where he finally looks at Clark as being a real person.
Well,
like, this is a person who has a mother, who has a woman that loves him and is willing to actually come between him and the man that she loves. I mean, all those things like finally clicks because he finally sees himself in Clark, and he sees what he's doing to Clark.
Well, I think that's also part of the scene that people don't seem to remember, because they get so fixated on that one line. It's like they don't remember that Lois is the one who runs into the room and goes, "That's his mother's name." So it's like, who is this woman here that like clearly, I mean, he doesn't know who she is as far as like, oh, they're dating or like if they're best friends. Like he doesn't know their relationship, but at the very least he knows like this is a person. This is not just like a big bad entity in the sky that's like, like a hurricane that comes down and causes destruction and then goes and flies off. This is a person who's living their own life, has their own experiences, their own losses, and their own relationships, which is more than he can say about himself. Like, I didn't see a long-term relationship with like the only action that I saw him get besides the aftermath of his hookup is, a bit of really cute flirting with Wonder Woman, which really got me in my feelings, but we don't need to get into all that. But
I got Justice League and JLU for that, but
it sounds like, from what we've heard from Zack that, I mean, there's these kind of thoughts that he had a relationship with Catwoman of some kind for
but we don't really
we don't really see it there.
Film.
I mean, I'm just talking about now, like hearing these things. So that's like, stuff that now we have to kind of like, if that ends up coming out somewhere in Justice League,
it's like, how you doing?
Like that's going to be like, how do we now kind of include that even in Batman's story of like more loss maybe that he's suffered and more trauma that he has gone through, So,
I mean, that's just the whole thing is it's just one, but the thing is life is, not to be pessimistic or overly Buddhist philosophy about it, but like life is suffering. It's, suffering is a part of life, but it's like, but if you don't like learn how to deal with that and work through it when things get difficult, then that's what happens. It accumulates and it festers. And then the older you get and the more stuck you are in your ways and your inability to work through it. And that's why when you meet older people, and I'm leaving that as open-ended, you can interpret that old as whatever you mean when you say old. When you meet older people that have never really taken the time to try to reflect and work on themselves, they're the most awful, unpleasant people to be around, where they've just never put in the work to try to better themselves and have some self-awareness about, okay, these are my personal flaws that I should work on so I can be better for myself, so I can live a better life, so I'm not a pain in the butt. Caught myself again. Pain in the butt to the people around me. And so that's kind of like how Bruce is, where all that money, and he could have afforded any therapist he wanted. This is literally half my critique sometimes about fiction is that character needs to go to therapy. You need to go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. But he really does, because he has all these issues, and it's just the lack of self-awareness, and he doesn't work through any of it. And this is what happens. You get violent. You make a nuisance to yourself, to your own well-being. You're beating yourself up for what? Physically, emotionally, psychologically. And poor Alfred is he's had it.
Alfred's like, I told you.
He's like, I had to deal with it.
Hey, you know what? I don't hear anybody like really bringing this up, but can we just have a thankful moment that the fact that Jeremy Irons is still Alfred?
I love him. I love him. Literally, did you see when
I'm happy everybody else is coming back, but oh my gosh.
He's the best. His sassy one-liners where he's like, in your dreams, Alfred. Oh my God. Jeremy, like the best. Honestly, there was the funniest thing that I've seen Jeremy Irons do was at New York Comic Con before Watchmen came out. I went to the Watchmen panel, and I feel like an idiot for not filming it because apparently nobody else bothered to film it. So you can't find it online anywhere. But the showrunner was talking about basically him wanting to court Jeremy Irons to get him to come on and be on Watchmen. And so, because Jeremy had told the story from his own perspective first, and he was saying something about how, well, it was a free lunch, and he was like inviting me, so it's a free meal. So I went out, and he was basically saying that he's looking at this man that's just so intensely trying to pitch this show, and he's just kind of saying something to the effect of, oh, well, he's kind of a lot, but he seems like he has a vision, and like, all right, I'm on board with this. And Damon basically said, yeah, so my side of that story is that the entire time I was doing this meeting with him, my internal monologue was Jeremy Irons. Like, I don't blame you, man. Yes. I would have done the same thing. I was sitting down trying to get Jeremy Irons to be on my show. Amazing, legend, iconic. We stand.
Yes. One quote here in the comment, in the chat here, which I had forgotten that Bruce says in the film: "Criminals are like weeds, Alfred. Pull one up, another grows in its place." If you took Alfred out of that, I could hear Ra's al Ghul saying it just as easily. Like, that's in my opinion. But like, it's. I can see how, especially in this world, how someone like Ra's al Ghul could gravitate towards someone like Batman, saying we aren't. And really, as much as that is kind of an overplayed trope, we're not so different, you and I. There's a genuine, overlap there in the way that they want to eliminate criminality. It's just the way that they want to do it are vastly different, or maybe not so vastly different.
Well, and I tell you what, man, I go on record as when Batman v Superman was announced, I was super excited at first because I remember where I was.
So was I.
And I was like,
I do too. I was in Hall H, and they put the thing on the screen.
Batman and Superman. I was at home. I wasn't in
Dark Knight Returns quote.
Hall H, but it was like Batman and Superman, and then it was Ben Affleck, and I went.
But that was almost most people's reaction was,
I know,
huh?
And then I went, and then you know what though? But then I've learned my lesson, because then I went, you know what? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, and
Heath Ledger as Joker.
Yeah, well, because
and apparently Michael Keaton too. Yes. Like I was looking it up online. I was reaching stuff, and apparently there was like a tens of thousands of signatures or whatever.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Genevieve, I love you right now because I love the fact because you come from a very knowledgeable point of view, and so I love that about you. I love the fact that like you're referring to it as like I did my research on that, because like we lived that as kids. Like that was I was 13 years old. I was 12 years old actually when Batman came out that summer, and I turned 13 in September, right after summer. And I swear to you, people, thank God the internet was not around back then, because oh my God, like it was insane.
Well, that's what I learned in my research, is that nerds have always been annoying entitled brats.
Comedian? You're gonna put Michael Keaton as Batman? Oh my gosh, the comic world just lost their mind. People hated it. And then like now I find it funny because here we are now, and now we're getting this movie with Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton, and Ezra Miller is the Flash stuff, and people are just like, yeah, I want that, because he ended up being great, But the thing is like when Heath Ledger was cast as the Joker, I learned my lesson from that casting, because I was like, nope, because I loved Batman Begins so much. I loved that it had that real world tone, that it was gritty, that it was like the opposite of Batman and Robin, as it were. The exact opposite. And I was just like, this is awesome. Could not wait for the sequel. We're going to get a Joker. And then it was like Heath Ledger. And I was like, wait, what? Heath Ledger? Like,
I never had any complaints, because from my youth, I was a Heath Ledger stan. The only celebrity death that ever made me cry was Heath Ledger. I was anything he was in, I was like, oh, what's that weird little indie? I'm gonna go watch it. So
I hate about you, Knight's Tale.
I've had one.
Well, that's what it says. Like
the guy from Knight's Tale. I've had one actor and one musician whose deaths hit me like no other, and that was Heath Ledger, and then Ronnie James Dio when he died.
Oh,
yeah. So, but Heath Ledger, at first I was even though I loved Heath Ledger, I was still kind of like, I'm not so sure, because as much as I love Knight's Tale and loved a lot of the stuff he did, I wasn't sure about the role. But when he started talking about all the research that he did, I'm like, okay, it's not just okay, it's something fun and sort of fleeting. He seemed to respect the character, and then the first trailers come out, this is the great, this is the great.
And from that point on. From that point on, anytime I hear anybody complaining about a casting or something like that, especially like even
he's the reference point.
With Robert
Just
Pattinson.
Wait till you see them do it, then you can get mad at how they did it.
Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman. I have said to people, look, would he be my first choice for Batman? No.
Neither was Ben Affleck for you.
But I say this: I have learned my lesson when it comes to Batman, that I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm going to keep my mouth shut about different castings that I don't think are going to work out. And I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait to see how they do in the role, what they bring to the table. And then I'll make my decisions. And I'm telling you right now, I mean, to me, Ben Affleck is the antithesis of who Batman is. Like, I love his Batman. His Batman is now my favorite Batman. And I'm so glad that he's having the opportunity to come back. Like his life has gotten, better, for lack of a better term, than where he was with all of that. I'm glad that he's been able to put all the garbage behind him, all the stuff that the fans did to him, and everything else, and the way people treated the man, and just, I mean, I'm just happy all around, because I'm happy for Zack, that Zack is getting a chance to put out his movie, his vision for what this is. I'm happy for all of them that they're, I mean, you just watch Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa. When you see his joy, when you see the joy in that man's face, when he's just like, Snyder cut, effing Snyder cut, man, give us the effing Snyder cut, like over and over again. And I'm just like, yep. And it makes me watch, like I said, that video that Dawson sent me, where this guy is literally he literally says the words that Zack Snyder is an evil person, because what type of evil person would do this and that? And I'm just like, people like you, there's I don't know. I don't understand people like that.
We will pray for those people.
Yes, I know. It drives me nuts, because
that's the best I can do.
It's the best thing I can do too, because I don't understand how people can have that kind of ignorance and show it even. Like,
more often than not, I just
filter.
Don't give people like that attention, because at the end of the day, a lot of people get on the internet and they just say antagonistic stuff because they know it will get a reaction, and it's there. I mean, entertainment outlets, entertainment reporting, they do the exact same thing of just, how do we just make this headline into the most salacious, over-the-top thing conceivable and get people. I mean, honestly, I think part of the reason why my channel is so when it comes to actually getting traffic and engagement is because I'm really bad at just lying and making up clickbait titles.
I understand that.
I'm very good at that. No. There's a running
sarcastic joke,
yes,
running joke. Yeah,
it's a running joke. To one of our last streams that I did an impression of YouTuber Mike Zero, and it just kind of went and went. But anyways, but when it came to that, that was just kind of like when it comes to the whole clickbait thing and not wanting to do that. That's why I love following like the Stop Clickbait Twitter account and Instagram account, because it gives you the teal deer for clickbait articles and whatnot and videos, and so it's like, oh, good. It's not gets rid of all the dumb craziness.
Oh, it's bad.
I just don't follow people.
Oh, I don't either.
No, honestly, and I feel bad. I feel like that's also why people don't think that I'm personable or whatever when it comes to like the fandom or whatever, because I don't follow a lot of DC fans, and it's not because I dislike people or that I don't want to talk to people, but it's just a lot of DC fans. And again, I don't want to say this and have people think that I'm telling you how to run your Twitter account. It's your Twitter, you can do whatever you want with it, but I don't need to see you quote tweeting and clapping back against every bad take that gets posted on the internet about Zack as a person or Zack as a director or the DCEU films that he made or any other DCEU films. I don't care what your bad takes are. I don't value your opinion. So I don't need, even if you're somebody who's clapping back and you go, oh, I'm going to show them. No, all you did was give them publicity. That's all you did. You're reinforcing bad behavior. Study some psychology. You might learn a thing or two.
It's almost screaming at the air in certain respects. Because especially with the sheer amount of people, it does feel like that, because how often are these individuals going to be interacting with the crazy clapping back and bad takes?
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel. I think it's almost in the sense of, one voice is very loud, but a bunch of them is just white noise.
Yeah. I mean, and it's more fun to just yell about stuff that you actually really like and you want to hype up. Like every other day on Twitter, you will see me screaming about how The Man from U.N.C.L.E. needs a sequel and about how Grease 2 is better than Grease 1. Nobody is trying to fight me and disagree with me about either of those things, because I'm not tweeting those things to antagonize the reaction out of anybody. It's just stuff that I really like and I want to hype up. Yeah. So I don't see the point in like if you really like something and you search for it on Twitter and you see people saying mean things, just mute the account and move on with your life. Why are you trying to fight with strangers on the internet? Like, get a hobby, take a nap, read a book.
Don't even mute, just unfollow.
Buy an adult toy, whatever it will take to get you through whatever issues you have with yourself.
Release the stress.
Relax, take a nap, have some endorphins, eat some chocolate, whatever you need to get you to settle yourself down.
Have somebody make a meme for you about the people who that you can't stand their takes.
Oh my goodness, are we doing the drop? Yep.
I'm vengeance. It'll make you feel better.
Robert Pattinson.
Make you feel better.
I'm so excited about that. Oh, yeah. Matt Reeves. I love how like people are now coming around to Matt Reeves. Like it took him doing his DC fandom panel when I'm going, oh, have you not been paying attention that Matt Reeves is delightful? Well, let me not tell that story. I was going to tell a story about how I tracked him down so I could get a selfie with him, and when he was it was a whole thing. But I did, and he was really nice. He's so like exactly how he was in that panel. That's how he is. He's so just laid back, but he's really nice. He's very thoughtful. He's super intelligent.
He talks for half an hour.
I love the panel that he did to promote the Batman at DC Fandom, and he totally deserved all of the publicity, the good publicity he was getting, where everyone was just so blown away by, Aisha Tyler would just ask like one question. He's just going, yes, and he's just going on this, he's so clear and precise with his vision. And, it's just nice that the DCEU is cultivating so many great directors who are super creative and really smart and have these really, authentic, unique visions that fit their artistry and the voice that they have. I mean, I'm just excited that he's finally getting his flowers. And all I need for him to do is to put Toby Kebbell in his trilogy, because they work together on his Apes films. So I need that to happen, and I'm manifesting it. It's going to happen. So.
There you go.
Hey guys. That's how I felt about James Gunn and the Suicide Squad, to be perfectly honest. I like the craziness of what that movie's supposed to be. It just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, you know what? Look, the point is that as DC fans and as fans of pop culture, we have a lot to be thankful for right now. We have a lot that we can like, and like we always say here at the Poindexter Lounge, you know what? What you like. Let other people like what they like. You know, you don't have to like everything that I like, and I don't have to like everything that you like. The reality is we could be fans of pop culture, we could be fans of DC, we could be fans of Marvel, we could be fans of whatever, Star Wars, whatever incarnation you like or don't like. It's okay. As long as we're respectful to everybody, we treat everybody with respect, and we don't try to tear each other down and tell you that you're wrong for liking something that I don't like or vice versa. We're all good. And like I always say, as long as you do that, there'll always be a place for you guys here at the Poindexter Lounge, because the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds, and that's what we are.
Hey, they ain't us.
That's right. They hate us because they ain't us. Hey,
I hate to love me.
Genevieve, thank you for joining us. It was so nice getting to know you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You are definitely welcome anytime. T.W. McKay, thanks for sticking it out with us, man, and closing down another show. You are awesome.
Hey, Daddy Fat.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure since I've been on the past couple streams. Before that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you to the lovely Tiff-tastic. I will be upstairs in just a minute, or you can come downstairs and we can make dinner and maybe watch a movie or something. And thank you to everyone who's watching today. Thank you to everyone who was on here earlier. You all know who you were, Nicotina and Dawson and
even
Zeverfat, even Zeverfat. We love him too. But hey, thank you to everybody who's just tweeted out today and put on social media, hashtag us united, because that's what we got to do. We got to be together on this stuff. We got to quit growing apart. We got to grow more together and see the things that we have in common, because there's always going to be things that we, disagree on or have different points of view on. But if we look deeper, we're going to see that we have a lot more in common than we think. And yes, like was just said, you can like Ben Affleck. You can love Ben Affleck. You can love Zack's vision. And then you can still be looking forward to Robert Pattinson's Batman. And everything in between, you can love it all. And we love you. We especially love you, Sophie. You're awesome. You're fantastic. Tell Scotty we said hi. Guys, thank you for being with me tonight. This was a great stream. This was a really good stream and a great way to cap off. Great way to cap off a wonderful day of just talking with friends and a day of 1 hour of sleep for me. But it was good. It was well worth it. And
sleep so good tonight.
I am. I'm gonna sleep so good tonight. I'm gonna have dreams of Justice League in my head and of Darkseid. So
happy Us United Day and happy Life Day to the Star Wars fans.
Absolutely, we gotta watch that. That's a whole
doubly
other thing.
Rewarded today.
I know.
Yes, and Zeverfed I know had his Teespring available, and all the proceeds for the GCU jerseys will be going towards AFSP. So I just wanted to shout that out again one more time.
I will put that. I already put.
You put it in the chat, but I kind of just scrolled way past. But I just wanted to let the guys know.
I'm gonna do it again. You guys see the shirt that I'm wearing? Remember that all the proceeds from this shirt go to support suicide prevention. So that's Zeverfet's shirt right there. And then I did put Genevieve's channel in there. I'll do it again here real quick.
Yes, and you will.
So you guys can go on there and go subscribe to her. Actually, Genevieve, tell us where people can find you online.
I'm pretty easy to find because all of my usernames are the same. So excellent. Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, and Vero, where I have recently gotten verified, which is very cool for me. I've never been verified on a platform before. And also, I'm one of the co-hosts on Livecast. So sometimes I pop on there to either when they're doing live shows, sometimes I pop on, but also I do some of their interviews because I guess Matt wanted help with the workload of doing interviews. And I was like, I love doing interviews. Can I do interviews? And he said, yeah, sure. Do interviews. So we're gonna be talking to Karen this week. So, and she's from Zack Snyder's Justice League. So,
and I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, please tune in because we want to show her some love and welcome her to the fandom and all that. Because I think she said it was her first US based interview or whatever. I mean, we're doing it online, but you know.
Still, wow.
Yeah,
wow.
So
well, that is awesome. That is awesome. Thank you to everybody who's here tonight. Remember, Darkseid's coming after your biscuits. He's going to get him, and that's about all I got to say about that. And I still say that I still think that I look better than
Anthony. Better
than Anthony, maybe. Well, maybe not.
Where's that photo of you two together again?
The one of us together. There it is, right there. Right. There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. Remember, stay nerdy and be good to each other. Right? Treat each other with some respect. And you know what? Go watch Man of Steel. All right.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.
Take care.